I am going to show you the best possible start for brand new players in Albion Online. I have spent 6 months refining and practicing and perfecting this fresh start strategy so that you as a new player will be able to build a foundation allowing you to have a lot of silver, which is the in-game currency, and have plenty of options to make silver without ever having any risk involved. This is a full loot PvP game, but there are certain zones where you will not have full loot enabled, which will allow you to farm up a safety net so that you can succeed in this game, because the majority of players, what happens is they go into these full loot zones, they die, they lose everything, and then they quit the game. So if you watch this video, this will prepare you and allow you to build basic building blocks and secure your financial future in this game so that you will always have money to spend in case you want to go burn it on a risky activity. Let's begin. So, first off, character creation is not too important. This is your avatar that when people click on your name, this is what they will see your portrait as. You can change this anytime, it's fine. You can also change your body and hair and all of that fun stuff, but you cannot change your gender. So make sure that if you want to play a boy or girl character, or body type A and body type B, Also, you can't change your name, but also another note. Don't use an offensive name. I know this game used to have a reputation for allowing offensive and wild names, but no more. If someone reports your name as offensive, you will now forever be known as Googly Moogly, and I'm not making this up. If you ever see a player named Googly Moogly in some numbers, it's because they were naughty and used a bad name. So, I am going to name this Best Start 2023, because this is for the year 2023. This is absolutely up to date with the game's latest patch, alright? Also, when you create your character, make sure that you have this play tutorial button enabled. Make sure it's lit up yellow so that you really need to play the tutorial. You will get a lot of bonuses for doing it, and it's very quick and easy. You will be able to make a lot of starting money in the tutorial zone, alright? So let's begin. I'm going to walk you through the tutorial. Now, what I want you to do is just follow the prompts of the tutorial. I don't need to teach you how to do the tutorial because that's what the tutorial does. But I will tell you when you should stop, and because there are points in the tutorial where you can never return. So I'm going to show you those parts now. Now, I want to mention there is a chest in the lighthouse part of the tutorial. It's right here on the bridge. You just attack it, and you can pick up a tier 1 helmet. This thing will be replaced immediately later on in minutes. So it's not that important if you miss this. You don't need to delete your character so that you can get one of these. They are absolutely worth pennies. Complete trash, okay? When you get to the part of the tutorial that wants you to kill these foxes and skin them, only do the bare minimum. The reason why is we're going to upgrade our equipment very soon, and you can kill these foxes much, much faster once you've upgraded your equipment, so don't spend too much time here. If at any point while you do the tutorial and you see this big circle of rough stone just unmanned and there's no one around, go ahead and pick them all up. This is very important for later, okay? Because you're going to be spending a lot of time here to build up your early economy. And yes, I'm being serious. These things are the most precious material in the tutorial zone. More info on this later. Now that you're in the combat zone doing quests, which my quest marker's up here, but I'm over here for the example of the video, I want to give you some combat tips, okay? When you left-click an enemy, you will, run towards them and start attacking, okay? But you can also use your spacebar and right-click so you can run away with a right-click and hold, and if you tap spacebar, you will attack every time it's available. In RTSs, this is called orb walking, like in Dota. But, so I can click this guy and I can run away from him, or I can circle around him and mash my spacebar and I will attack while moving. So this is very good for learning how to play. But because you're in the tutorial zone, I want you to be a little bit more brave with how you play. And I'm going to show you that in just a sec. This game is very mount dependent. So get on your donkey, or your mule rather, that's what it's properly called. And try to grab as many enemies as possible and try to fight them all at once. Now your mule will die. That's totally fine, right? You can dismount on it before it dies, and just go ahead and grab as many opponents as you can and try to take them all out while moving. So So you can see here, this is a far more efficient way of killing mobs in this game than fighting them one at a time. See? Now also, you'll notice this yellow bar is your mob's health. If you walk out of the circle, it'll despawn it, and in 24 seconds, I will be able to resummon the mount at full health. So go ahead and practice doing big, large area of effect pulls. If you're wondering how I'm doing a circular sword swing, it is because when I click on my sword, there's two abilities that I can use in my Q slot. So I have the second one, which is a heroic cleave that attacks everything around me. There you go. Now, at this point in the tutorial, you're going to be using your learning point on Trainee Fighter, and you may be looking around at this thing and being like, oh my god, this is so complex and crazy, what is all of this stuff? This game is really complicated, I can't stand it, and then you want to install. Don't do that. This is actually insanely simple. It is not Path of Exile, it is not Final Fantasy X, this is the simplest thing ever, and I will explain it later in the video. But right now, it's not important to explain. Now, I want to mention, too, if you die to mobs, you do not actually die. You will take a 5% durability loss of everything in your inventory, and you will kneel down for like 15 seconds until your HP restores back to full, and then you will get to try again. Before you head back to town after completing the quest to steal the map, farm at least 300 silver. Silver is the shiny coins that you've been picking up automatically off the ground from killed mobs. And remember, if no one is in this stone circle, go ahead and grab all the stone you can until more people pile in. This is very, very important because you're going to be spending a lot of time doing this before you leave the tutorial zone. At this point in the tutorial, it will ask you to craft or buy tier 2 items. I'm going to tell you exactly what to buy so that you can unlock everything. The way this game works is you have to wear items and then you gain what's called fame, which is experience, in battle, and as you wear certain items, you will level up those certain items. Well, you need to wear one piece of cloth, one piece of leather, and one piece of plate in order to unlock the basic equipment for all of those, which is where this part comes in. So, it's much faster just to buy the pieces than to go and harvest and gather and then craft it yourself. So go here to the marketplace and buy exactly what I do, okay? So, very first thing, you're going to buy the Novice's Soldier Boots. Okay, that's your plate item. Then you're going to buy the Scholar Cowl. That's your cloth item. And then you're going to buy the Mercenary Jacket, which is your leather item. And then for your weapon, this is pretty important. You're going to buy the Novice's Bow. Alright, because this will unlock the weapon that we want to use later. But also, we want to buy a fire staff, because we're going to also need that later. But you don't have to do that right now. This is before you leave on your main. But the bow is one that you definitely want to buy. It also lets you do the tutorial much faster. So just go ahead and right click and put all these things on. You'll have new abilities to equip from your armor piece. You can use the self-healing, it's fine. If you're new, if you're more experienced, you can use Inferno Shield. And for the bow, you're going to just use that first ability. You can also try out the second one if you want, it's totally fine. But for now, we're going to be using the bow. If you want to know why we're using the bow, even though we're not going to use it later, it is the highest DPS weapon at the start of the game. You cast your W and E spells, and then you left-click a target, and then you don't do anything else. You let these stacks just play out, and you'll start shooting incredibly fast. And then you can just you're basically a turret at this point. And this is important for your early farming. You can also interrupt casts with your Q spell if you want, and your boots push your F key and you will heal over time while you're able to shoot. So this is why we're using this item combination. It makes doing this part of the quest insanely easy, but it's also very easy to farm with this weapon. Now this is a very important part I want you to pay attention to. When you get to this part of the quest that is called Distraction, call the ship by lighting a signal fire. All you have to do is go into this circle right here, and that lights the signal fire. Then you get a little fanfare of music, and the boat shows up, right? This is very important. Do not dare go into this doorway. Do not step into this circle. By doing this, you will never, ever, ever be able to return to Tutorial Island. There is still many things that we need to do here before we leave. So let's get started with that. First off, let's manage our inventory. When you're back in this town, there is a makeshift repair station right here. Go ahead and talk to this guy, and then click on this salvage tab, And then what you want to do is put these tier 1 items that you're no longer using into the salvage. This will just give you some random materials. So go ahead and do that. That'll clean up your inventory. And then make sure to repair everything. And then off to the next step. At the makeshift tool maker, which is the first thing you did in the tutorial, go ahead and craft you a beginner's stone hammer. Just one. You don't need more than one. Alright. The first thing we're going to do is unlock tier 3 so that we can have a nice offhand for our spells. To do this, make sure you have the bow equipped, and you're just going to kill mobs in the snowy zone. So again, just activate your turret powers and just start blasting. And you're going to do this until you reach 20% in order to learn tier 3. I'm going to show you that after I blast some of these mobs here. This step does not take very long to do at all. And I'm aware I could have interrupted that spell. It's fine. We have boots that heal ourselves. We can heal ourselves out of combat. Don't fret too much. These things aren't going to kill you. We have tier 2 weaponry now. Make sure to pick up the silver too. It helps. So, if you push B, you will go to the destiny board. Remember that? Now, if you go to the left, these are your combat level proficiencies. And if you go up and left along this line right here, this will show you the Journeyman Hunter of the Bow. We're going to fill this fame line right here. This is 20% of the way, which will then allow us to use learning points to reach tier 3. Now, we don't have any learning points right now, but we will get a huge amount of these and a little bit later when we leave the island, but for now, we want to at least get this to 20%. And there we go, we have Journeyman Reaver. So what this is your ability to kill higher tier monsters. So let me explain what Journeyman Reaver is. You can't use learning points with this, you have to do it manually. When you unlock this, there are 8 tiers of monsters in the game, and each zone means monsters get stronger, but without the proper Reaver level, you will deal significantly less damage and take increased damage against this tier of monster. So, now that we have Journeyman Reaver unlocked, that means we deal 15% increased damage, and we have a 13% increased defense against tier 3. What this does is prevent highly skilled players from going all the way to a tier 8 zone and defeating the enemies by just outplaying them. Because as you see, a lot of enemies in this game use area of effect attacks that you can manually dodge. So this is to prevent them from having an easy time doing that. Now, you're going to see these Journeyman Cloth Armor Fighter pop up. You should also see Journeyman Hunter, that is our weapon. It'll also show our helmet and, well, boots as well. There it is. There's the armor. So these are the same thing. What this does is I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And once we leave the tutorial, we're going to get a ton of learning points. And this is going to let us skip and unlock the tier 3 equipment immediately. This is so that we can gear up very quickly and be more powerful than the zone we're about to go to. Now go back to town and buy this tier 2 Novice's Fire Staff. This is a one-handed weapon. You don't need to buy an offhand, which I guess the game doesn't allow you to do that yet, so don't worry about that. Just buy yourself a fire staff and then equip it, like so, by right-clicking it. And I'm going to use the second spell. It's not the greatest, but it is an area of effect, which allows us to kill mobs faster. And we're going to kill mobs until that pop-up appears for the fire staff. Now, remember when I said the bow had the highest DPS? That's against really high beefy HP targets. Against these low HP targets, you can kill these pretty much instantly with the fire staff. But believe me, against a very strong high HP target, the bow is better. And yes, this weapon is very fast at low HP targets. You just cast a burning field and then a pyroblast and they're done. I want to teach you a quick advanced method of combat, okay? Your mounts, it lowers its HP when you're on top of it, but when you're on it, it doesn't. So what you can do is cast a damage over time spell on an enemy, jump on your mount, and then you can tank the hits and spare yourself the damage. Alright, any second now, I should get the pop-up. There it is, Journeyman Mage Learning Point reached. Now that we have that, we can go on to the next step. For our next step, we're going to increase our gathering level and refining level. So I'm going to push B and go back to the Destiny board, and this time I'm going to go down. Here is the first thing, Trainee Gatherer. We're going to level this up so that we can use tier 2 gathering tools. This is absolutely super important, but also, if you go to this anvil looking icon and then go down and left from there, you'll see this Journeyman Refiner. We want to refine tier 2 resources so that we can refine tier 3 resources. Though this is not super important, it's just better to do this now than later because it's a pain in the butt later. And remember when I said we'll come back to these foxes? Well, now with your fire staff, they're easy to dispatch, so what I want you to do is skin foxes until you get the pop-up for your harvesting, for your gathering. Let me show you optimal gathering for skinners. You're going to park your mount in between all of the available mobs, and then you're going to pull each one with an auto attack, then cast your spells and group them all up, and they will die immediately. Now, you have these claimed for 2 minutes. Other players will not be able to skin these for 2 whole minutes. So you're just going to rinse and repeat and do this as much as possible, because this is something you're going to be doing a lot of later on in the game. Okay, I just got Trainee Gatherer, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up gathering the rest of these little foxes here and head back to town. Now that you're back in town, come over here to the Makeshift Tanner, which is right here on the map, and then click on him, click the Stiff Leather, and then go ahead and refine all of that. If it's not enough, but it is this time, but if it's not, go gather some more, and now we are a Journeyman Refiner. So at this point, there's a lot of things that we can start leveling here. We can actually start leveling up our refining to level 4, which is very important. Or we can also level up our skinning. However, I'm not going to recommend this right now because we don't have a tier 2 skinning knife. And a tier 2 skinning knife is so much better than a tier 1 skinning knife that you should do that at a later time. Now, I want to future-proof this video real quick because who knows what the economy will be like in the future. But almost always, rough stone will be the big prize winner of the zone. But just in case, click your rough stone, make sure that it's set to 1, split the stack, do the same with the tier 2 rugged hide, and then do the same with the tier 2 stiff leather. And then what I want you to do is look at this estimated market value. So stiff leather is worth 43 silver. Rugged hide is worth 54 silver. And a rough stone is worth 180 silver. So as of right now, this is the resource that I want to leave Tutorial Island with, but also, the Tutorial Island is the best place in the entire game to farm rough stone, because rough stone is just scattered randomly through islands and different zones, but on the Tutorial Island, rough stone is in that big circle and it respawns nearly instantly, so you want to grab as much as you can possibly carry before leaving, and here's how we're going to do that. So what I want you to do is grab cotton and then refine it into simple cloth, at least 12 of them. You can go right here to the makeshift weaver to convert cotton into cloth. Once you've done that, you should already have the stiff leather, and then come over here to this crafter and then click this bag icon and then click novice's bag and go ahead and craft you one. And there you go. Now that you have a bag. However, this bag came out as normal quality, so if you want, you can craft more and hope for a better quality bag. So I'm going to go ahead and put that bag on, and let me explain weight systems real quick. If you see this number up here that says 75%, I am at 75% carry capacity. If I look at this green bar, this explains how much I can carry. From 100 to 130% carry capacity, I will be slowed down by 20%, and then slowed by 50 at 130 to 160, and so on. But if I put on this bag, which lets me carry an additional 20 kilograms, my weight limit goes down to 58%. So, now that we have the bag equipped, we can now harvest more of these rough stones before leaving. Now, to save yourself time, I'm going to show you the different qualities, okay? At normal quality, you can carry 20 kilograms. With one step up, you can carry 22, and then 24, and then 26. That's not a lot. It's really honestly not worth crafting more than the first bag. If you get lucky, great. If not, don't worry about it. Now it's time for some inventory management. Take your rough logs and then toss them out. To do that, drag them in an open area and it will ask you, do you really want to destroy the item rough logs? Click yes. Next up, do this for all the non-refined resources. So like copper ore, we don't need it. This simple cloth, you can go to the marketplace here, which is located right here at this little golden hammer, and you can click this sell tab, and you can sell your refined materials only for 2 silver. You're getting ripped off here, but hey, it's better than nothing, okay? So we're going to, we're going to click the sell button, and then click sell, and there we go. We just made some silver. Do that with the simple cloth, and then throw out everything that is not rough stone or your tools. So I'm going to throw out this scraps of hide. I'm going to keep the bow, because we want that. And I'm going to keep the tools, and I'm going to click stack and sort so it's all nice and even. I'm going to throw out the stiff leather and the rugged hide. And we're only going to keep, like I said, the rough stone, our tools, and our bow. Now I'm going to go back to that rock circle, and I'm going to farm it until my character can barely move. And remember, we have a stone hammer now, so we can mine this slightly faster, not much faster, but we're doing this so we can have some starting cash. If you want to know how much this earns you, this will earn you 300,000 silver per hour. Okay, that's how much this will make you, and that is going to set you up to succeed in this game. Especially if you have friends that can give you money, you can skip this step, obviously. But this is the fastest way as a brand new player for you to make silver, okay? So don't skip this step because you're going to pay for it. Now, there are a few other ways to make money. You can buy a bunch of these mules because this mule is worth 6,632, but look at this. The weight of the mule is 45 kilograms, okay? If the mule also gives you some bonus weight. So if I take the mule off, right, and put it in my inventory, I'm already at 97%. Okay, so you can only carry a few mules. You can carry like maybe 8 or 9 of them with you out of the tutorial zone, but you're not going to make nearly as much silver as by doing this. So absolutely do not skip this step because it will set you up so much better later on. Now, it has been just 15 minutes and I'm at 100% carry capacity, so I'm moving a little bit slower now. But you can see that my inventory is worth 118, well, almost. There it goes, 118,000 silver. This is an insane amount of starting silver for a brand new player. So if you want to go ahead and go to the next step now, you totally can, but you don't have to yet because you can still move. You can get this number up to, what is it? You can technically push this number to 180%. You will move at a snail's pace, but it will absolutely set you up more if you want. However, for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and probably stop it around 129 or 130%, because that way I can still move at a kind of a reasonable amount, but the more money that you farm now, the easier it will absolutely be later on for you. So feel free to stick around until, you know, you're almost completely overloaded, because it will help out so much. Okay, I have stopped at 129%. You can feel free to go even further beyond, because right now I am a little bit slow, but that's right before it crosses the 130% threshold, slowing me by 50%, which is an additional 30% of this, which is already pretty darn slow. But you can see I have 152,714 silver in my inventory, so now I'm going to leave Tutorial Island. Now you are free to step through the circle, and we're going to select a starting area. This is very important, and I'm going to explain why you want to select a specific starting zone, okay? So we're going to talk to this person here and turn in our quest. And by the way, if you try to go back, like I said, you will be unable to. And I'm going to just show you real quick what that happened, what it looks like, okay? So you can see here, the entrance has now crumbled. You are unable to ever return back to Tutorial Island. There's no warping home. It's done. You are completely blocked from doing anything on the island ever again, and you can never travel back here. Now, you're going to talk to this travel planner here, which it's kind of off the map for some reason. Nice design. But it's very important that you click this bottom middle circle called Step Cross, or select it from the drop-down menu. This is Step Cross, okay? There's a reason for this. This is the nearest city to the town of Bridgewatch. Now, Albion, let me show you the map. I'm going to explain, okay? So, there are 5 main capital cities, and then there's one red zone PvP capital city in the middle. You have Bridgewatch. Bridgewatch is the capital city of the desert zones, which are primarily skinning. You want to skin low-tier mobs in this specific zone because there are more of them, but also because these stags, which are like giant deer creatures, can drop babies, and those sell for quite a lot. So there's a reason why we're going to Bridgewatch. It is also the most stable economy out of all of them. So everything that you do harvest, gather, find, and loot will make a decent amount of money here compared to other towns. Also, it is the winning faction, okay? If I go to, let's just see how they're doing. Faction Warfare. You can see here, as far as Faction Warfare goes, Bridgewatch, while they don't always claim all the towns, they are the winners overall almost always in Faction Warfare. I don't know if it'll let me see it here. Probably not. Well, maybe. Yeah, it won't let me see it yet because I'm a new character. But Bridgewatch always earns the most. Bridgewatch is by far the most organized and strongest faction in the entire game currently. and they have been for about 2 years now. But also, the weapons we are going to be using are the cheapest in Bridgewatch, and I'm going to talk more about that later in the video because we want to save as much money as possible. It is just overall your absolute best choice. Do not mess this step up. Make sure that you select Step Cross, that it's this bottom middle, and then click Buy Journey. And there you go. Now, this is very important. I know that you want to go ahead and start playing. Whatever you do, don't talk to this character. Do not turn in the quest. Don't ignore him. Completely ignore that person. Ignore this person. And the first thing I want you to do is go to this big chest in the middle. This is your stash. And throw your stone in there, okay? I held shift and I left clicked and that quickly moves it, but you can also drag it over if you want. And this will reduce your weight back down. No one can open this. It's unique to everybody. Otherwise, like this guy using his chest, we could just loot his stuff. It's not how that works, okay? So go ahead and deposit your stuff. And now I wanted to specify exactly why I don't want you talking to these two characters yet. Because we're not done building our foundation. As soon as we talk to these quest givers, it starts our 3-day free premium, which you should only start if you have no work, no schoolwork, no actual like job to go to. You're free from any kind of family invitations. You won't be bothered by a possible girlfriend. That you want to make the most out of the next 3 days. But there's also something else that we need to do before we begin our adventure. But before I explain all that, let's set up our chat window because there is one thing that we absolutely need to do. Push enter, click this little arrow, then click advanced, and it should be on the social tab here. And what you want to do is scroll down to this blue text that says looking for group and turn that off. The reason why you want to turn this off is because all of this blue text is for endgame things called hardcore expeditions. You won't be doing these for a very long time. You can always turn it on later, but this thing will flood your chat so hard that you're going to miss faction callouts, you're going to miss any fun banter in the English chat, assuming you are English, but just turn it off. It's so annoying. Also, I want to share with you my game settings. These are very important for everyone that wants to have a nice, good foundation. Let's start with general, okay? I turn off camera shake because this can be very disorienting. Anytime there is like a ground shake effect, monsters will cause this to shake. It is super annoying to have on. Make sure you turn this off, okay? Automatically pick up silver should be on by default. You also never want to select full stacks by default when buying items, okay? Never ever do that. Make sure you have warning before entering PvP areas. Alright, now here's the thing too. Vanity skins, I have them set to only in safe areas. Because I want to be able to identify what people are wearing in dangerous zones, which we're not going to concern ourselves with in this video, okay? You're also not going to be overcharging yourself, so don't worry about that. For graphics, I recommend that you limit your frame rate so that you don't burn your graphics card. I have mine limited to 100, okay? If I put this off, my frame rate goes to 300 plus, and it starts cooking my graphics card. VSync, I prefer it off. Do whatever it is that you prefer. I'm not going to teach you any kind of crazy resolution cheats. There is a way to see slightly better on the sides of your screen, but it really gives you a fisheye effect. I don't like it. I just have the resolution set to my monitor's, highest possible setting. All right, for visuals, this is what I use because I have a very powerful GPU, so you can really use whatever you want. I also have window animations turned off. This is just an extra little flashiness, like when you open your inventory, it'll pop up instead of immediately appear. So this saves you a couple of seconds of, if you need to do something in the inventory. Again, camera shake off. I like bloom. You can turn that off. Most people have this off, but I like it, so I leave it on. You want obscured character highlighting. Let me show you what that is. That's super, super important. Say there's like a little monster behind this tree. Well, if there's a monster behind the tree, there will be an outline, a little red outline of the monster behind the tree, or this also works for players. So what this means is that if someone doesn't have this setting on, you could technically hide in a little bush here, and you're really hard to see, assuming I didn't have my donkey there. So you always want to have that setting on. It's very important. Audio, here's how I prefer it. You can change it to whatever you want, but this is what I use so that I can hear enemy footsteps, which is super important later on. Interface, I like to scale it down, and I have my spells on bottom, but you can change it to however you want, all right? Next up, you can also change your combat. not too much really to do here. Name tags, I like to see everything about everybody. And then party interface, you know, there's really not too much here. I leave tooltips on. Controls, I use classic. Most people, they stress double press to attack so that you can click on an enemy before attacking them. I play a lot of RTS, so I don't like that. It's just how I'm used to, okay? Now, quick spellcasting. I recommend you just have normal spellcast until you are used to the game. If you are a veteran of MOBAs, like League of Legends and stuff like that, and Dota 2, then quick cast on button push is your best option, but you need to learn the spells and what their ranges are and stuff like that before you do this, okay? Also, force combat mode off so that you can loot while you're in combat. This is super important for stealing and ratting, which is where you steal someone's drops and then you run away. If you're stuck in combat, you won't be able to loot, so always have this turned off. For social, we went over that earlier. That's the chat window, and I don't have a profanity filter because I'm hardcore. Key bindings, I haven't changed any of these. I believe they're all default, so nothing special there. Oh, actually, no. There's one important keybind that I have, and that is auto run, okay? I'm not sure where it is on here, but I have the button above tab to the left of the 1 key. That is my auto run, because all I have to do is push the auto run button, and the character will just follow my cursor. And this saves you a lot of hand cramps when doing any kind of travel. You can cancel auto run by just right-clicking anywhere on the screen. Finally, we have notifications, and I'd never ever turn off Don't Show Again. The reason why you should leave these on is because if a player uses an ability to drag you into a red or a black zone, you could be killed and lose all of your gear. But if you have that notification that pops up, it won't let you change zones until you click OK. Now, at this point, I want you to log out of this character. Go ahead and log out, and we're going to use our next 2 character slots. This is super, super important, okay? What I want you to do is make 2 more characters, and you don't need to level them up as thoroughly as the first one. All you need to do is get them through the tutorial, generally as fast as possible, but also harvest stone on both of those characters. And then as soon as you get to Step Cross, talk to this guy, and they will give you 3 days of premium. You can see this character's been setting a little while. He's got 1 day of premium left. So what we're going to do is, during that 3-day premium of these 2 other characters, we're going to just run immediately to the capital city and sell the stone. So this is the starting town. We're going to completely ignore it on our alternate characters. These are characters that we're just borrowing for an easy boost in early game money. And we're also going to be setting up some housing so that we can extremely boost our early income. All right, so to do this, we're going to go to Bridgewatch, exit out of the top right corner of the town, and then follow this road all the way here to Bridgewatch. And all you have to do is ride there, and you will be slower whenever you have stone in your inventory. I've already actually done the step where I sell the stone, but I'm going to show you how to do that on this character. Once you arrive at Bridgewatch, it will look completely overwhelming. There's 259 players currently in this part of the town. And if you open your map, you're just going to be bombarded by icons. Don't worry about anything over here or down here for now. Those are all player-operated shops. We don't need to worry about those. All we need to worry about is this place here, the marketplace. Here's a bank to store our stuff. But we're not even really going to use that because I'm going to set you up immediately with housing so that you can store your stuff there instead, and you don't have to worry about storing it in the public bank. And it's just a nice little, you know, we need to make houses anyway so that we can set up our economy. So the first thing is we're going to go to the marketplace here, and you're going to be flooded with player characters in this market, okay? There are currently 291 people running around here, and you see this big blob of players on the right? There is actually an auctioneer there. So just left-click in this crowd, and you will open the marketplace. There you go. Now, I just want to mention, I've already done this step on this character, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. Go ahead and left-click to open the marketplace. And what you're going to be doing is make sure that you click these little reset filter, like circular arrow buttons. That way everything is squared away. Then on this tab, go to your sell tab. You will see your rough stone. Click sell. And what you want to do is, you're going to have about 700 to 800 of these, right? So what you want to do is you want to have just enough silver to pay for the taxes to list these items, because what's going on right now is there are people offering in the market to buy stone at 156 silver each. We don't want to sell it that low, but the cheapest people are willing to sell the stone is 208. So what you want to do is you want to go to sell, because you need some starter money, and then drag this amount here until you have about, maybe 3,000 to 5,000, okay? I only have 10 stone as an example, and then you would sell that so that you have a little bit of pocket change, 5,000 to 6,000 silver in your pocket. Then you want to reopen this back up and go to sell order, and it will start you out at the lowest listed price. You want to undercut this lower listed price by 1 silver, and there's a lot of people casting spells, and then click create. And what will happen is you will have the lowest possible listing currently on the market. Throughout the day, you should relog into these characters and then check the market and make sure that you're still the lowest by going down here to the My Orders tab, and then click edit. And you can see here we're at the top, we're the cheapest. If your listing is not at the top, you need to alter this number, change it to 206, and then click update order. However, you will have to pay tax on doing this. Now, the reason why we're doing this on this character and not our main character first is because it has premium active, so we pay less taxes, but also we can transfer the money between characters, but we're going to be using these alternate characters to set up our housing, and it will just make so much more money for your main character. Everyone does this that has been playing Albion for a very long time, so I want to set you up with it right away. Now, because this character has already done this, he has 163,735 spending cash. Okay? So, also, this character, we're not going to be playing him anymore for combat reasons, so if I want, I can strip his gear and sell it, but we'll worry about that in a little while. So what you want to do now is go open your map and then go to the top left to go back to the top part of town. And this is after your stone has sold. Okay? So what you're going to do now is open this map, and you'll see an icon that's got like a little palm tree and a little island. This is the island merchant. Go ahead and go near this island merchant. But for now, we have to create our own guild to own a guild island. And this is very simple, because otherwise we can't get an island unless we pay for 30 days of premium. But there's a way around that. We won't have any farms, but we will have housing. So push G on your keyboard. I think you can click your portrait and maybe find it somewhere there. I'm not sure how to do it on cell phones, but just push G. And then what you're going to do is you're going to enter a guild name. So I'm going to name this, let's see, Best Start 2023. That's the name of the guild. Okay, and you could change the guild crest settings. I'm just going to go with the default. It doesn't really matter. And now this is going to cost, let's see. Oh, we have to do the crest. Okay, fine. So we're going to go ahead and apply this. Why not? Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and click Create Guild. This is going to cost 15,260 silver. So, and there's a slight discount right now, so it's actually that's wrong. This is costing 84,740 silver. That's a bug. Look at that. That's a fun little bug. It's showing the discounted amount and not the total amount. Okay, so we're going to spend 84,740 to buy a guild. That's fine. That's totally fine, okay? And there we go. So this character has 80,000 silver remaining. Now, when you talk to this island merchant, okay, you're going to click this second tab that says Guild Island. Now, this is going to cost a little bit more silver. 95,332, which we don't have enough of, but there's a way to transfer our money. So this is why I told you to do this twice. Now, on this character, I was a little bit more lazy. I only farmed 90,000 in rough stone, but what we're going to do is we're going to give most of this silver to our other character, and here's how we're going to do it. We're going to click at the top of the screen, there are these little icons. Click this gold coin icon, and what we're going to do is we're going to buy gold with silver. So I'm going to type 90,000 silver, which is going to buy us 20 gold. And it's not quite all of our silver, but there we go. We bought 20 gold. Now let me tell you about gold. Gold is account bound, not character bound. So we have 5,043. Let's go ahead and drain this guy dry. We're gonna buy one more gold there, and there we go. We bought one more gold. So we're basically broke. We have 753 silver and 21 gold. And this is the third character, by the way. I'm going to switch now back to the other character and sell the gold. So here is our characters so far. We have our main character who has not started his premium. This first character, which, you know, we just ran him through the tutorial. He's got his premium. His premium has finished and finalized, so he no longer has it, which it takes 3 days. It's whatever, but you don't have to have it finalized yet. And then we have this character who still has 2 more days of premium, which means he can sell things at a cheaper tax rate. And he's still acquiring what's called focus. More about that later. But this is our character that we're going to sell the gold and get some of that silver back so that we can create that guild island and build a guild hall on it. So we have that 80,000 silver remaining. We have the 21 gold. I'm going to click this gold icon again at the top of the screen. And I'm going to sell 21 gold and get 89,000 silver back. So there we go. So I've just transferred money from one character to another. I have 170,000 silver. So now I can click this Guild Island tab and buy for 95,000 a Guild Island. Oh, okay, I don't have enough silver in the guild account. Let me explain how that works. Okay, we need 95,332. Push G, go to your account tab, and then deposit, what was it, 96,000, right? Something like that. There we go. Our guild has 96,000 in its treasury. Now we go back to the guild island, and then we can buy it. There we go. We have now bought a guild island. I'm going to go ahead and withdraw that amount there. Also, we're going to change the tax to 0 because we don't want to store any money that we loot, but we're not going to be playing this character possibly ever again. You could technically delete this character later on once we have everything set up. Anyway, go ahead and click on the item or the island vendor. Click the Guild Island tab and then click Visit. Okay? So there we go. Now we are on our very own Guild Island. And we have this big old plot of land we can build on. This is really cool, right? So what we want to do now is we want to click on this little ledger here. There's like it's like a little billboard. It's got a little quill and ink and a lantern. Go ahead and click on that. Okay? So what you're going to do now is you see this little co-owners box. Type in your main character's name. So mine was Best Start 2023, click the plus symbol, and then click your other character that you have. So that character's name was Focus Benji. I'm going to go ahead and click that there, and then I'm going to click Save. So what I just did is I gave both of those characters access rights to visit the island and build on it. So there we go. Also, your guild island comes with its own bank tab right here, and it's so much more convenient. But this one, I want to warn you, this stash is per character. So we're going to fix that because we're going to be building a building right here. So to build a building, you're going to go ahead and push the H button, okay? Then click this house icon and click Guild Hall. All right, so now that we have the Guild Hall, well, we don't have it yet. We need to build this, okay? We're going to click Build, and then we're going to hover over this build plot until it turns green. And then we're going to slap it down. This costs 100 silver, not a big deal. But we need these resources. We're going to need 150 of rough logs, 15 rough stone, and 900 limestone blocks, which it's pretty cheap. So we're going to go ahead and work on that. And if you don't want to buy the rough stone, since you have your own island, you can just pick up the rough stone on your island. You only need, oh, and we have a premium bonus, so we got 3 instead of 2. So you can just run around your island and grab 15 of these bad boys, and you could technically also grab the wood, but you need 150 of those, okay? But they're really cheap. Rough logs are only like 18 to 20 silver each, and sometimes they're even cheaper than that depending on the economy. So there we go, we have our 15 rough stone. And we can just ride right back up to our little guild hall here, and upgrade it to tier 2. Which, well, not yet. We still need the limestone blocks. We'll go buy those. So here we are. We're going to click this plus symbol, and that will feed our rough stone into it. The light turns green. We no longer need to give that resources. So let me teach you how to buy things, okay? So we're at the market in Bridgewatch, and now we're going to go ahead and make sure we clear out our filters. We're going to click the tab that says Create Buy Order. We're going to click that, and then we're going to go into the search and type Rough Log. We need 150 of these. I'm going to click Buy Order. I'm going to go to the amount and type 150. Then I'm going to scroll down until I see a large stack of items. Now what we're going to be doing, we're going to set the price at 20 silver each. And this will buy everything below and up to 20 silver. So, you can see here, this is going to cost 3,000 of our silver. And there we go. So, we have now done that, and because we know that those were listed, it's down here in this tab ready to collect. So we're going to click this tab and click Take All. And this, it does weigh a little bit. Okay? So, you have to be a little bit wary about your weight. Now, let's do the same thing with limestone blocks. And this is why I told you to go to Bridgewatch, because Bridgewatch is the place to be for cheap building materials. Stone is the cheapest in the game at Bridgewatch because Bridgewatch has a refining bonus. This town specializes in creating stone. It's a desert city. So I'm going to type limestone block into the search. I'm going to go to this buy order tab now and click buy order. Then I'm going to type 900. And then I'm going to type 35 because, oh wait, the price just went up right before recording. So I'm going to type 36 because that's enough to buy 900 of them. Okay, this is going to cost 33,000 silver, so we're going to create that buy order now. And there it is. This might put me overweight. So I'm going to take this 30 stack. And that put me at 36%, and then I'm going to take this I'm going to click take and take 100 of them right now. Or no, you see your weight percentage here? Just make that 99 point. Yeah, there you go. And I'm going to go turn these into the house now, and I'll be right back to pick up the rest. Now, there's two ways to get back to your island, okay? Open the map, the small map. You can go to the island vendor, but you can also go to the travel planner. The travel planner is over here on this weird little compass symbol. There's a character here. You just kind of click around, and you'll open this map. Then click this Travel To drop-down box, and you'll see Best Start 2023's Island. That's where we want to go. It won't cost you anything because it's connected to Bridgewatch. So we're back at our guild island once again, and we're about to build a very nice starter house so that we can transfer items and begin laborers. So let's go ahead and click Fill All. That's going to fill the wood and most of the stone. Let's go get the rest of the stone now. So I'm back at the market. I'm going to click this completed transactions, and let's see if we can just take all of this. That puts us at 125%. This puts us at 55. I'm going to grab the 55, and then I'm going to grab 156 out of that stack, and then run it back to the house once again. Okay, now I'm just going to dump that back in there. There we go. We've almost got it built. One more trip should do it. All right, let's build it. Let's finish this up, and ta-da, there we go. Now, this is our guild hall. This will hold laborers, which I will explain later in the video. But right, it looks dumpy. It's just a tent. I know. Don't worry. We're going to upgrade this one time, but not right now. Now is not the time. But for now, we're going to click this little quill and parchment on the wall, again with a lantern. And we're going to click access rights. And then we're going to switch access mode to custom. Then we're going to go to co-owners, and we're going to type our character name. So Best Start 2023. Click the plus symbol, and focus Benji, just focus Benji, there we go, and then give them both access. All right, now we're going to save that. So what this means is that those two characters, if they want, they can now come here and build stuff inside of it. So we have 38,000 spending silver remaining, so why don't we go and spend a little bit of that money? So let's set up a storage chest. You're going to go ahead and type chest right here in the search bar, and you will see novice's chest. If that doesn't work, go to category, go to furniture, and then go to chest. And you'll see a novice's chest. Go ahead and buy one of those. We just need one. And then we're going to go put that down in our guild hall. Here we are at the guild hall. I'm going to click on the chest and then click place. And I'm just going to set it there for now. It's fine. You'll do a little hammering animation. Now we can go to this chest. And then go to actions, and you guessed it, go to access rights, and we're going to change this to custom. Go to co-owners, type in your main character's name. So there we go. Make sure I spelled that correctly. And then type in your other character's name. And then put that there, and then save it. Now, all of your characters have a shared stash. At this point, this character can just dump all his stuff in there. We can see we have 8,000 worth of gear. And what about money, though? Because we don't have a crafting bench yet, this will come much later on. We're just going to do the silver method, right? And but we don't want to do that just yet, and I'm going to explain why. I'm actually going to pull the mule back out because we need that. So next step, Now here's the thing, our main character has yet to start his 3 days of premium because we want to make sure we have lots of free time for that. So for now, we're going to run that stone to our character that does have premium active. So we're going to grab our stone, and then we're going to slowly trek our way back to Bridgewatch, take the travel planner to the island for free, put the stone in that chest, and then switch characters and then sell it on that character. So here I am on our main character. I go to the travel planner. You can see that I can go to the island. I'm going to go ahead and go there. And this is just a simple mulling of items so that we can pay less taxes on selling this stone. But also that other character has a starting amount of silver so that we can just straight up sell order the stone, okay? Now I'm going to go here and put all the stone into the chest. You can see that the chest, like, it still has 99% capacity of weight, so you're not going to overload the chest. Now we're going to switch back and sell it. Now this character, I never did the backpack thing because I was just rushing it through the tutorial, so you can see it is so much slower moving, but that's okay because we just go back to the travel planner here and, you know, we go to Bridgewatch and then we're going to walk our way to the market and sell it all. Yay! Now remember, go to your sell tab, and if you don't see anything, click these little spiral arrow things to reset your filters, and then it should appear, okay? A lot of people mess this step up. So I'm just going to undercut now and list it at 203. This will cost me about, what, 10, 11,000 in taxes, which we can easily cover. I'm going to click create and then not worry about it for a while. I'm going to go ahead and return this character back to his island. Oh, and here's the achievement, earn a total of 100,000 silver through the marketplace. So, let's see, we get a little mail notification here at the top. This is your mail. It'll tell you if things sold. So it looks like it sold pretty quick. And we sold 844 rough stone, and there we go. So now we have almost 200,000 silver, and we just started. We technically haven't even started yet. So we're rolling in the dough. We are absolutely banking. Now, I want to mention at this point, what you can do is you can make more accounts, or you can delete one of the other character that hasn't done anything yet after depositing its stone, and you can do the exact same thing, spend maybe 30 minutes to an hour, you know, and get more stone, put it in here, sell it again, and you will be rolling in the dough as a new player, though I don't think we need to at this point. I think we're ready to start the next part. We do want to upgrade this one time, so what you do is you click the parchment, then you click upgrade, and then you click yes. Oh wait, can we, are we too low leveled? Okay. Yeah, we haven't unlocked this yet. So we're going to have to play on our main character just a little bit longer until we get that Journeyman Adventurer. I think our main character has that unlocked already because I just rushed this through the tutorial. So let's switch characters and then start the upgrade process. Well, since we're just going to use the main character from here on out, we might as well transfer all this silver. So we're going to go to the gold method again, and I'm just gonna type numbers in here, and well, that doesn't work. So buy gold with silver. Okay, so we have 197,000. There we go. That's 46 gold. I'm gonna click buy silver. Now we just switch characters and then sell the gold, and that silver will now be on our main character. Here we are on the main character. So this time we can go here and then click upgrade. And let's see, we do need to grind a little bit and unlock tier 3 mounts before it'll let us do it. That's totally fine. So we'll upgrade the house later, but let's get that money. Let's go ahead and, how much gold do we have? 46. We're going to sell 46 of our gold and get that 195,000 back. Look at that. So we are now starting our character with 196,000 silver, and we're going to skip straight to tier 4. I'm going to show you. It's going to be great. So remember on Tutorial Island, we leveled everything up so that we could use learning points? I know we haven't started our 3-day premium yet, and that's fine. If you open the Destiny board, you can see that we have 100 learning points. So we're going to spend some of those. So first off, let's click everything here. Basically, we're going to click this. You can't use learning points on that. That's fine. We're going to click Cloth Armor Fighter and then learn that. That unlocks tier 3 cloth. Very cool. We're going to click this Journeyman Hunter, unlock that. That unlocks tier 3 bows and the Torch Offhand. Journeyman Leather Armor. I'm just clicking these buttons on the right. And then I'm going to go ahead and learn that. That's tier 3 leather. And then the plate, which we won't be using plate because it lowers our DPS and efficiency. Alright, then Journeyman Mage. We're going to click learn. Alright, now we have access to the Curse Staff, which is what we want to use. We have access to the Torch, which is what we want to use. We have access to Cloth, Leather, and Plate. So we are all set. Now, we're also working towards our Tier 4 Reaver, which is Tier 4 zones. We'll worry about that later. We'll get that super quick. Alright, so what I want you to do now is grab all the Tier 2 and Tier 1 crap from all your characters, put them in the chest, then take them out on your character, and we're going to sell them. I'm going to keep the carrot soup because, well, they're pretty darn handy early on, and it saves you some money on buying food if you want to do anything that involves food. Or you can sell them. It doesn't really matter. Carrot soup isn't that potent. So let's go. And yes, we are selling our tools because we have Tier 2 tools that we can use, but we don't need all of them. So let's go ahead and just go to the market, and I'm just going to quick sell them because we're loaded. You know, these items are worth pennies, right? Our entire inventory is worth 1,791. Who cares? So I'm going to just make sure I clear all of my my search parameters, click sell, and then I'm just going to sell everything for the cheapest amount there, which, again, it's not that much. Now, I will say these Tier 1 tools, you could salvage them for one rough stone and make more money, but who cares? We're already loaded. It doesn't matter. Just get rid of them. Right? I don't want to sell order. I want to sell. There we go. You may be thinking, but we don't need the bow because we're fully Tier 3'd up. Go ahead and take your armor and your weapon off and sell those as well. We don't need them anymore. We're done. We are done with these pieces of equipment. Now let me show you what you should be buying. Go into the search, make sure you're on the buy tab, type Cursed Staff, and then click the tier and click Tier 3. Make sure you're buying a Tier 3 Cursed Staff. We're only going to be equipping this and then reading some books and then selling it back immediately. So it doesn't matter what the quality is. Just buy the cheapest one, slap it on, there we go. You don't even need to allocate your skills. Next up, clear your search parameters. Go to Category, go to Armor, go to Cloth Armor, switch the tier to Tier 3, and then buy the green Journeyman's Scholar Robe. There we go. Slap that on, and we're set for the next item. Now, I want you to do the same thing, except at this time, go to Cloth Helmet and Tier 3 and buy the cheapest item. In this case, the Journeyman's Scholar Cowl. Finally, oh, that one's not available. Let's try buying this one then. There we go. So now you're going to go back to Armor and go to Plate Shoes, and then buy yourself some Soldier Boots. There you go. Oh, that one's not available. Someone bought it. Okay. Oh, neither is that one. That's okay. There we go. Then you're going to type, clear your search parameters and type Torch. And then the Tier 3 one should be available, but go ahead and select Tier 3 anyway, and then buy yourself one of those. And then make sure you put all of these on. You have to have these equipped on your character for this next step to work. Now, clear your search parameters and type Tome of In. So you can see a Tome of Insight. This is a little pricey, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to buy one of them, okay? So we're buying one Tome of Insight. This is going to give us 10,000 experience, or 10,000 fame, towards everything that we have equipped, which, because it's only Tier 3, we are going to immediately be boosted into Tier 4. So go ahead and use the Tome of Insight. There we go. We are now, well, we have enough to use learning points. So click on your Journeyman Cursed Staff, click Equipable, scroll up here, and find the Cursed Staff, which is Warlock. So we went, it's not the rightmost one, it's kind of like the next one from the right. Follow that line up, and then click Warlock, and then click Learn. Congratulations, you now have Tier 4 Cursed Staves unlocked, okay? You can also click the buttons up here. So here's Torch Fighter, we're going to click that, and then click Learn. And now we have Tier 4 torches, but we also have the Tier 4 Crypt Candle. This is the most damage boosting offhand accessory in the game. Okay, it's a little pricey, but we'll worry about the cost later. That's fine. Go ahead and click your Plate Boots Fighter and click Learn. Now we have Tier 4 boots, namely the Soldier Boots, so we can run away. This is important for later, okay? And then your Cloth Cowl Fighter, go ahead and click Learn on that, so we have Tier 4 helmets. This will unlock the Mage Cowl, which is, again, important for later. This is a poison helmet that increases our damage, alright? And then finally, the armor, click your armor, click Equip, follow the line, and find the one that's the armor, the Cloth Robe Fighter, click Learn. Now we have Tier 4 unlocked, which unlocks the Cleric Robe. which is going to boost our damage but make us immune to damage. It's really cool. Trust me, we're going to go with this. Now, we can go ahead and strip down of all of these items and then sell them. So we're going to sell it the same way. I'm going to clear my search parameters, click sell. I'm just going to quick sell it because we still have 174,000 silver remaining. We're big moneying right now. Now, to established players who've been playing for a long time, this is not a lot of money. You can make this in like 30 minutes or less, okay? But to a brand new player, this is good money, okay? And now we're going to buy tier 4. So I'm going to type Cursed Staff, and I'm going to switch the tier to tier 4. Now, this is where you need to be careful, okay? Because sometimes it will show you the, it's like a two-handed Cursed Staff. You want to make sure it says Adept's Cursed Staff, okay? Click Enchantment and click Enchantment 1. You're buying an Enchantment level 1 Cursed Staff. Now, scroll down and make sure it's not overpriced. Remember, Bridgewatch has the cheapest cursed staves in the game because Bridgewatch has a crafting bonus to cursed staves. Now, I'm going to tell you later why this is the best weapon for a new player, okay? Because it ties into exactly what we're going to be using it for, which is open world mob farming, abusing our mount, and the spells it has. It's also great for corrupted dungeons. It's also amazing for skinning, which is mostly what we're going to be covering. So, I'm going to buy this one, this gray one. So here's how the upgrade quality works, okay? You have normal, which is no border. Good has a shiny little silver border. Then outstanding is the copper border. You can also get excellent, which is the bright silver border, and then the masterpiece, which is the golden border. We just want a cheap one, so it's sorted by the cheapest, and I'm going to scroll down, and we're only paying 100-ish silver more. We're paying 1 rough stone more for way more item power. So this is 840 item power. This is how the game works. Items of higher quality, higher tiers, and higher enchantment levels increase your item power. So because we're buying a 0.1 enchantment level, our item power is increased by 100. And because this is an outstanding quality weapon, we have a bonus of 40. So what this means is this deals 213 magic damage over 8 seconds. Whereas this one that isn't higher quality does only 192 damage. So you know, for 1 extra rough stone, we're going to buy the outstanding quality one here. Go ahead and equip that, and go ahead and use this spell, Cursed Sickle, okay? And this is, I can't believe this unlocks at level 1. It used to have to level this up to unlock it. But yeah, it's a good one. It's a very good one, okay? Next up, you're going to type Cleric Robe, or Cleric Rob, it doesn't matter, and do the same thing. Make sure it's enchantment level 1. Go ahead and buy the cheapest one with decent quality. So there we go. Put that on, and you're going to equip the spell Everlasting Spirit and Aggression. There we go. Next up, you're going to type Soldier Boots, and here we go. Same thing, you can look for a higher quality one. It doesn't look like there's any higher quality one. Oh, there we go. So 3318 versus 32. Yeah, see, that's only 100 more. I'm going to go ahead and buy this. The boots and helmet don't make much of a difference, so you can kind of skip the quality on those. And I'm going to click, for now, Rejuvenating Sprint, because we're not going to be PvPing. Wanderlust is useful for later when running from opponents or chasing opponents. And then I'm going to switch it to the Toughness. We don't need carry weight. If you have a lot of stuff, you can switch to carry weight anytime and get that carry weight immediately. Alright, and then for helmet, we're going to type Mage Cowl. And we're going to, this one you maybe want quality for, but it's not much more damage. Like, for instance, this will deal 370, and this one will deal 376. So it's a difference of 6 damage. I'm just going to buy the first one because it's cheapest, okay? Then put on Poison, and put on Aggression. So what I've just given you here, oh, I bought the wrong weapon. I told you not to do this, and I did it. I bought a Great Curse Staff. We don't want the Great Curse Staff. I need to sell this, so I'm going to click sell, and I lost 4,000 silver. It's fine, we're still loaded. It's okay if you make a mistake. So I'm going to type Cursed Staff, and I'm going to switch it to tier, enchantment level 1, and I'm going to buy, well, I want one that's, you know, decent quality. I'm going to go outstanding, and here we go, Adept's Curse Staff. We don't want a Great Curse Staff, damn it. Okay, there we go. It's fine. We still have 158,000. Go ahead and click the Cursed Sickle. Okay, now we need an offhand, and guess what? Crypt Candle. Type Crypt Candle, one word. Get that +1 enchantment. Get a good one. And go ahead, and this is 50,000, but it's 50,000 well spent. And you're going to use this later for skinning. You're going to use this later for everything except corrupted dungeons. We're going to have a cheap alternative for corrupted dungeons, which we will unlock later when we have more money. But you don't want to spend big money. Like, this is big. You're not going to lose this. You're not going to risk this. You're not going to risk any of this. So we're going to go ahead and buy one of those. And there we go. And now go ahead and put that Crypt Candle on. That's going to increase our damage. But we're going to be taking a little bit more damage, but it's fine. You're going to kill everything super quick with this. So now, what I've just given you is a build that deals damage over time, has an execute ability, and you can sit on your mount while everything that you fight dies around you. This is a very fast farm. Once you level up the Curse Staff more, you will have better area of effect options that are kind of locked right now, and you will be able to kill mobs faster than almost every other starting new player in the entire game. But wait, there's a little bit more we need to do, okay? We don't want to ride the donkey anymore, so what I want you to do is push A to dismount off your donkey and unequip it. Now go ahead and sell your donkey, say goodbye to the market, and now I'm going to have you type transport ox into the search. Make sure it's tier 3, and you can buy a quality one if you want. It's not really much of a difference, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna buy the cheap one. It doesn't really matter that much, okay? And then go ahead and equip that. Now this is slightly faster than your donkey. It has a ton of health. It has a ton of armor, and this is why we're buying it, so that we can sit on this beast of a tank while we kill mobs. But also, as a gatherer, you will be able to hold 784 kilograms of additional weight. Next up is skinning knives. I want you to buy 2 of these, and I want you to type skinning knife into the search and select tier 2. Buy 2 of them. They're cheap. They're maybe worth 1 or 2 rough stones that we farmed earlier. They're super cheap. The reason we're buying 2 is because we don't want to return and have to repair it when it breaks. So we just buy 2 of them because we're going to very, very, very quickly go into tier 3. Next up, we're going to buy some food. I want you to type in pork pie and buy 2 of these. You may be thinking, well, these are a little expensive. They're 3,500 each. They could be more or less by the time you watch this. Go ahead and buy 2 of those and equip them. This is going to increase your gathering yield by 15% and allow you to carry more stuff. At this point, you could sell those carrot soups or keep them. We have enough money. I'm just going to sell them. I don't need them. We can eat cabbage soup. We can upgrade our soup to something better later on. So, at this point, you are already a tier 4 Reaver character, meaning you deal additional damage in tier 4 zones. You have tier 4.1 equipment. You have an insanely strong damage over time build. It's time to go back to the starting zone and complete the starting zone quests, which will activate our 3-day premium, but also we will be able to skin during this premium. And oh wait, there's one last thing I forgot. Let's set up some journals. Go ahead and go back to the travel planner and go back to your now guild island. This is so funny. Like, I wish I could start the game this freaking stacked. Anyway, now right up to your tier 2 guild hall and click the little parchment paper. Now scroll down until you see something called a gamekeeper, a novice gamekeeper. This will probably cost you 1,000 silver. Click higher, and then click place, and then go inside your building and just sit them down somewhere. This is called a laborer. This is how we're going to make a ton of money later on. But for now, we do need to upgrade this at least one time and get some beds and some tables for them. But just put one of these bad boys down and then click on them, and then click manage or click journals, and then go to novice gamekeeper's journal. And then buy 10 of these. Buy 10 of them. It's going to cost you 4,237. And now what's going to happen is once we fill these up, we're going to sell this for over 20,000. So we spent 4,000 and we're going to earn 20,000. So we're basically going to earn an additional 16,000 silver for something that we're already going to be doing anyway, which is skinning mobs. But we're also going to be skinning mobs as we do the starting zone quests. So let's go ahead and travel back to that starter zone now, which is located just southwest. You'll go through Fractured Ground and then back to Step Cross, okay? So we're going to exit the bottom right side of Bridgewatch here and go back to that starter zone and begin our adventure. As you travel, be on the lookout for these creatures called impalas. If you see one, step off your mount and kill them. Kill them with just attack. Remember the foxes? These are the same thing as the foxes. Cast your spells, okay, and they will die immediately, and then skin them. And what this will do is every time you skin them, you will earn fame, and that will be put into this journal, and when this journal fills up, it will be able to be given to a laborer to give you a whole bunch of rugged hide. However, since our laborers are not set up to work efficiently, we're just going to sell the journals to people willing to buy them for a high price, which is just free silver on top of free silver. And this hide is good money. Like, we just earned 650 silver, and we earned combat fame by killing the animals. Now, as we level up skinning, Tiers 2 and 3 do take a little bit of time, but when we have that 3 days premium active, we will be able to very, very quickly rush to Tier 4 skinning, and that will allow us to wear gathering gear, which will further increase our earnings, which will further increase how much silver we can generate per hour, and soon you will be just fully loaded, and you can just buy premium with in-game money. It's that easy. So remember, only talk to this character when you have the next 3 days off, whenever you can take it easy and play lots and lots and lots of Albion Online, okay? For me, I'm a YouTuber, I don't have a job, so I can just play all day. But for you, maybe you can only play 2 to 3 hours a day, so only start this when you have some downtime and nothing will disturb or bother you, because that 3 days will be ticking as you sleep, as you eat, as you go to work, and you want to make the most of it, because Premium gives you about a 50% bonus in everything you do. Fame gain, silver drops, more hides when you skin things. So we're going to click complete, and this only works if you do the tutorial. If you don't do the tutorial, you can't get the free 3-day premium. So there we go, and then we're going to click accept, and then we're going to talk to this guy. And at this point, we will be given that 3 days premium. There it is, 3 days premium activated. Go ahead and click on this guy again. Click welcome to Albion. Take a breather. Skip that. Well, you can read that if you want. And then we're just going to do the quest. This one introduces you to everything around town. And we're just going to follow the quest that this guy gives. This just explains what each of these benches are, which we learned what they are in the tutorial island anyway. So it's just telling you where you can craft things and you can refine things. And where you can buy. Don't ever buy stuff from the starter town market, because see here, pork pie is worth 5.89 thousand. Okay, there's some flipping opportunities, yeah, but new players aren't going to be buying the pork pies from there. Like, only buy from the royal capital cities. Okay, and then it's telling us here's the stash, and then we can go back and turn that in. Which I don't think you get anything for it. And then we can go to combat. You want to do these quests because there are rewards, okay? You get these little tomes of insight, which we'll use later. We're basically going to bank those. All right. So this is telling us now we need to finish a royal expedition. And it's got me stunned because it wants me to read the tutorial. So the royal expedition is this blue portal here. And hey, we're a little over-geared for it. So we're going to go ahead and enter this one. And it's going to give us an item worth 10,000 silver, or we can gamble with it, and I'll explain that later. But this is your first instanced dungeon, and our item power will be lowered a little bit because by 120, because it wants to limit your power so that you can't just smoke all these mobs immediately and breeze through it. But our build will let us breeze through this instantly, okay? So I would recommend as a new player that you kill everything you come across. And look at this, I can just cast that, they're immediately dead. These are a little bit tougher mobs, okay? So you can cast this, and then cast the laser on them, and they're just dead. Like, you should be able to breeze through this, okay? So let me talk about a little bit about our abilities. Our boots, same thing. When we cast it, we will heal over time. Our helmet will activate a poison effect right up here. This is a buff. Our next normal attack will poison the target. So we shoot him with a beam, and look, he's poisoned, he's taking damage. It's not a lot, but it's something. It's an extra amount. Alright, your Q spell is a line attack that deals damage over time. It puts these little curse stacks on them, so let me explain. So, you see these little floating skulls? You can stack 4 of these on an enemy, right? He's got 2 right now, and he's taking 60 damage per second. And yeah, so it's basically 30 damage per skull, up to 120 damage per second. As you auto-attack, you have a passive ability that will do an explosion, right here. So every 4 attacks, on the 4th attack, you will deal a 50 damage explosion around the target. This laser beam deals high amounts of damage and shreds their armor for 4 seconds, meaning your curse and your poison will deal additional damage to the target. But basically, it's just a really good way of dealing extra damage, right? Okay, so there we go. He's got 4 curse stacks. You can just run away because he's going to die. Your spell, your E-spell, your Death Curse. Now, this is pretty cool because this does not cause aggro. You can cast this on a target, and there's a little debuff bar at the top here. You can see on the circle, when this circle runs out, he will explode, and it will deal damage based on how many stacks of curses the enemy has. So if they have 4 stacks, this thing deals over 1,140 damage. So this is your boss killer, because normal mobs are just going to immediately die. Like, look at this. They're just dead. And that's the whole point of this build, is you can just run through and kill everything hyper fast. Okay? Like, I can just ignore these dudes. They're going to slowly die from the curse. There's even a healing mob here, and look at it. So they're all cursed, and then just laser beam them down. Just go through here, and you'll complete the quest if you just kill everything. Otherwise, just kill what this little area says on the right. If you speedrun this, you can do this in about 2 to 3 minutes if you skip mobs. But let me show you a little secret too. Alright, sometimes in these dungeons there's a hidden chest. You see this little chest over here? It's not going to be worth much, but it's worth picking up, okay? This will give you some silver. So we just got 467 silver from that chest, which is not bad. Okay, it's pretty good starting out, but hey, we have 90,000 silver to our name, and we have a method that most people don't do. It can make us 300,000 silver an hour by simply making a new character. We have a guild hall with a treasure chest that we can store things with, so we can just farm rough stone. So like, here's a boss. We can just curse him, hit the little. Oh, he stepped to the side of that. They improved him. Look at that. He's still dead instantly though. Sometimes they'll drop items, by the way, so be on the lookout for little treasure loot bags. But look at that. We're already halfway through. And I'm going to be honest, these mobs don't give a lot of fame. They're not giving a lot of silver, so they're not really worth killing unless you have a quest for them. So I need to kill one more poacher, which is the archer. I'm just going to skip it. I'm not saying that you should, but you could. Also, I don't know why my overcharge is lit up, but whatever. I don't have siphoned energy for that. So I'm just going to skip the mobs. I'm not worried about them. I'm just going to kill the one last poacher that I need, which is, again, the archer character. I'm just going to use my boot spell to run faster, run through them. And, yeah, let's get this show on the road. Now, you don't have to do this, but there's the archer that we need. He's dead. And now we can just run straight to the boss, which is the last part of the quest, and kill him. And then we're out of here. We get our reward, and we earn some silver, and we completed the quest, which will earn us the fame tome that the quest giver said he would give us. So here's the boss, little whip man. Let's go ahead and curse him twice. And I'm going to wait, and I'm going to curse him 2 more times, and then let's death curse him now, and then that'll be 4 stacks. I'm going to hit him with the poison, hit him with the armor shred, and he's just dead. Boom, done. And there we go. We got some silver. We completed the expedition. This guy will open a portal. You can click on it, or you can push A to teleport out. Anytime you're in a dungeon, just push A to leave if you want. And there we go. We completed the quest. We're going to go ahead and turn that in. And don't you just feel overpowered? Isn't it great? It's super awesome. And look at that. We got 1,000 silver for doing that expedition. You can do that once a day, by the way, to get those rewards. And we also got this sealed royal sigil. I'm going to talk about this real quick. This has an estimated market value of 11,000 silver. You can open this and get a royal sigil worth about 6,000 to 7,000, 75% of the time. The other 25% of the time, you might get a tier 5 one, 12% of the time a tier 6 one, and then 5% or 2% a tier 7, tier 8. So this is a gamble. You can open this and only get 6,000 silver. You could sell it for 11,000. We're already loaded. I like to gamble. Let's go. Let's see what we get. I got a tier 5, so I just won. This is worth 15,000 silver. So I made 4,000 additional silver by taking that chance. But 75% of the time, you're going to lose, okay? I've done the math. I've done videos on it on my channel. So now we have a little Tome of Insight, but this is a little baby one, okay? This only gives us 2,000 fame. We're going to save these for later to level up things that we don't want to level up. So you can also do the crafting and gathering quest, but you don't really get much for that. All right, on to the next quest. You go to the quest giver, go to combat, click the open world. And here's what it wants us to do, okay? We're going to be doing a random solo dungeon. And so what we're going to do here is click accept. And now we have tier 4 equipment equipped already, so we automatically passed the first part of the quest. Alright, now it wants us to put on tier 3 equipment, unfortunately. So we're just gonna go to this shop here and buy the tier 3 equipment. I guess we could have kept it earlier. They changed this, but it's whatever. You just go to tier 3. You just gotta freaking like cloth. Just get cloth helmet. Okay, there you go. 1,000, whatever. Buy it. Okay, get the cloth armor. Just buy that. Get the cloth shoes. Buy that. And there we go. So now we need to get a tier 3 two-handed weapon. So we're just gonna go to melee and okay, let's do magic because we're a spellcaster. Buy the cheapest thing. No, we want to buy a two-handed weapon. Yeah, so that here. Let's well, no, we don't. Let's do ranged. Where's ranged at? Range, bow. There we go. Just buy a journeyman's bow, 3,000, and there we go. We completed the quest. Open your inventory and use the dungeon map. Okay. So let me show you a little trick here. This is a tier 3 random dungeon map, which will spawn a dungeon in the open world. This is very interesting because this is the only time you will ever see or get one of these. There is a fun trick that you can do just for nostalgia, just if you want. Go ahead and go to the quest now, and then abort it. That's right, abort the quest. Go back to the quest giver and then accept it. And there you go. Now I have 2 maps. And then go back and then abort it. And go back and accept it. Now I have 3 maps. And this is how you can farm tier 3 random solo dungeon maps if you want to learn the game and get some loot. But also, I recommend that everyone does this because a lot of times, your map might be stolen. That's right, other players can enter your random dungeon and clear it before you can and steal your loot. So go ahead and do this like 10 or 20 times and stack up a bunch of maps. I have 100 on my main character, and I'm never going to use them because this is the only time you can ever get these, and once you do this quest, they are gone forever. You can never, ever get these. But you'll be running, you probably won't be running random dungeons. They've been heavily nerfed. But for a brand new player, they're a great source of early items, and you could get really lucky and get some really expensive stuff and make a lot of silver. But in this case, I got 10 of them. I'm going to go ahead and stop there, but you can get 100 if you want. It's fine. It's just something fun to have and hold on to because you'll never see them again. So you click the map and you click use. This is going to open your world map and then put a little circle in an area. So to get to Gopher's Knoll, we have to take the leftmost road out of this town, and then it'll be right here on the map. Now, other players cannot see that dungeon yet until we get close to it. So we're going to take our ox, and we're going to ride on over. And yes, I could sell these tier 3 items back to the shop, but I need to hold on to them so I can spawn those maps. That's new, by the way. They've changed that recently since I've done the tutorial. They're always updating the game with new and wacky things. So I'm using the in key, which you learned in the tutorial, to open the map. And we're going to go clear this random solo dungeon. It's basically just similar to the thing that we did earlier, except this one is randomly generated, whereas the first expedition we did was, it's always the same, okay? And there won't be random silver chests. There'll be random item chests or fame tome chests. So, this is what a random solo dungeon looks like. It looks like a cave with a little green glow in the middle. So go ahead and click on that. You'll channel it. And you're over-geared like crazy for this. Now, other players can now enter this, by the way, and they can run ahead of you and kill the boss. So, we're just going to clear the dungeon. This thing is, again, completely randomly generated. And, there are tile sets that you'll learn over time. And so, let's go ahead and do the first pull here. Go ahead and hit... I missed the laser on this one healer. And these mobs are a little bit tougher than the previous thing, but that's fine. Because we're overpowered, okay? We're absolutely overpowered. These do give a... This one just dropped a tier 4 mercenary jacket. Look at that, worth 1,600 silver. Go ahead and pick that up. We'll sell that later. Okay, there's a mob there. And he's the only one there, so we'll just kill him real quick. There we go. Down he goes. And yes, that's a silver pile. You should pick that up as a new player. It's only 8 silver. Remember, we have a way better ways of making silver at this point. And you don't want to skip mobs in this, and I'm going to tell you why. For random dungeons, if you skip mobs, you will not be allowed to open the chest at the end of the dungeon. So you should always kill everything you come across, okay? Once you learn dungeons, There are ways to skip some mobs that you never alert, so that, well, so that you can clear it more efficiently. And just look how fast we're killing everything. Like, no other player is going to be clearing as fast as you with this build. That guy's a little tanky. Also, they have explosive barrels. You can trigger the explosive barrel. And there we go. So that's, I didn't even need to curse that dude. If you want, the carrot soup would be useful here because it will heal you in between pulls. You want to kill the ads before engaging this mini-boss. See the little circle under this big boy here? That is a mini-boss, okay? So you want to kill everything else besides him. And there you go. Now these guys have more HP. Like this guy, his name is Big Spencer. He's got 3,180 HP. He is guarding a blue chest, which is pretty good. The chest rarity goes from green to blue to purple to golden. Okay? If you get a golden chest as your first dungeon, you're super lucky. So now we're going to open the chest, completely random generated loot. Let's see what we got. We got 2,000 in silver bags and a tier 3 mercenary jacket. So pretty cool. So that's 3,000 silver we just earned by killing that boss. But that's not the boss of the whole dungeon. Ooh, you see this little shining pool of thing over here? This is a buff shrine. There are 3 possible buffs you can receive. A green, a blue, or a red buff. Let's see what we get. We got the green one. We don't want the green one. The green one gives you a reflective shield and heals you over time. The blue one reduces your cooldowns. The red one gives you an insane speed and damage boost, allowing you to deal like almost double or triple the damage. So this mob dropped an item. He dropped a tier 2 cape. That's not that good. But it's still something. It's still something. We're also leveling up our items and weapons as we clear the dungeon, so that's pretty neat. There's another buff shrine. You can't stack buffs shrines. You can only have 1 buff at a time. So, I don't like the green buff. I'm going to dispose of it for another one. And we got the blue buff. So this one increases or lowers our cooldowns, so we can cast our spells much more often. Alright, which means I'm just going to use my boots to run up here. Grab these guys, and you can see that I can spam spells a little bit quicker than normal. I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm going to push my R button and get that defensive shield, which will make me immune to damage. We got a tier 3 armor there. And we also completed the daily bonus. Over here, you will earn what's called, I forget what it's called, these little key icon things, challenge points. When you get 1,200 of those, you do your daily quest, which gives you one of those tomes of insight that we paid for earlier. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and claim that. If you choose to buy premium for a month, you can also get these rewards, like a snow husky mount worth 400,000 silver, or these random chests. So that's kind of the incentive to get premium. But if you do it every day, you'll get that 10,000 fame tome, and well, you know, you can't sell them because they have this little no selling icon. Otherwise, they would be cheap as heck, right? but there you go. So, I just want to tell you, oh, a purple chest boss. Now, I want to tell you, out of all the bosses that you can get in a tier 3 dungeon, we just got the hardest one. But our build is so good at killing this guy that we don't have to worry. I do want to wait for my health to get back up. I could have used a carrot soup to make this go faster, but it's pretty fast because I am tier 4.1. This is just a tier 3 boss. It's totally fine. Let's go ahead and fight him. So I'm casting my poison. I cast my Q spell. I'm hitting him with auto attacks. You don't want to get close to this guy. He does a whirlwind attack. Let's go ahead and death curse him. Wait for him to pull you. Like, I have a whole video series guide on how to defeat these bosses, but you can see that, you know, we're doing pretty good here. I'm just going to use all my abilities. I don't have to. I actually didn't time the armor correctly. If you stand near him, he will start whirlwinding his whip around, and it deals tremendous damage. Also, don't get hit by that, because that hurts really bad. But again, we overgear this encounter. That's a really hard boss for new players, but hey, we outgear it. It's fine. We got a purple chest. Let's see how much we earned. Oh, that's not a good chest. Chests in dungeons have not been very good lately. So we earned 8,000 plus 4,000 silver. So this is 12,000 silver earned. It's not that great, but we did get a bunch of fame, and things are starting to level up. We're not going to worry about our levels right now. We just want to complete the starter quests. So, let's now travel back to town. We're going to use our mount, and we're going to go back to the step cross and turn this in. And here we are back in town. Let's turn in the quest. There we go. Now we have the big city. So ready as ever. You can also go to combat and you can do a heretic keep with a party of 2, but we overgear it. We could solo this. You can get yourself this tome that's worth 50,000, or I'm sorry, 20,000 fame, but we don't need that. It's kind of a waste of time. Like you don't need to level up your fame at this moment. But go ahead and click the big city, and this is going to send you to Bridgewatch, but it's also going to give you this Royal Sigil, which is the thing that we, gambled earlier when we pulled it out of the bag, worth, I guess, 7.5k. So there you go. We're going to accept that, and now we're going to Bridgewatch, which we've already done. We already know how it works, where it's at, so I'll see you in Bridgewatch. And remember, along the way, kill these Impalas. Just nuke them. Now that you have Premium active, you will receive way more hide when you skin them. So you'll see right here, we have 3 + 1, 3 + 1. And once you get Gathering Gear, it's going to increase even more so, okay? I want to tell you right now, on my main character that I actually play, if I skin one of those, I get like 30 hides. And you can also skin these Moa birds. Because you're only a tier 2 skinner, you can still skin them, but it will take a little bit longer. But go ahead and do it because it gives you good fame. And there you go. So this had 6 out of 9 hides, and it, like I said, it takes a little while. Look at that. We got 5 thin hides and another 4 thin hides there. What you can see are these little green ones. So you can. This is how it works. They're not worth as much as the Impalas because they're in less demand, but still go ahead and do it because you want to level up your skinning. You want to level up your skinning so you can unlock tier 4 skinning. So on our way to town, we're just going to grab everything we see. But don't spend all day out here because we're going to go to a zone of the game that there's tons of these animals. Like right now, this is a tier 3 zone. We might see 1 or 2 animals. I'm going to take you to a place where there's 8 to 10 of them all in a little circle and you can kill them all at once. And it's good. It's super good for money per hour. It will level you up super fast. And once we get that gathering set, I'm also going to show you how you can also fame farm open world mobs using our build with the gathering set on to just level up super crazy fast. But, I'm just going to grab these mobs real quick, bunch them all up like so. And, all of our spells are line attacks, so there we go. They're all cursed to dealing damage over time. We could even poison one, it doesn't matter. And then just skin them all. Just go ahead and get that skinning up. And here's the thing, too. You don't have, like, this is at 9% right now, right? We can technically just go ahead and, knock this out if we want. When it reaches 20%, we'll use our learning points and unlock tier 3 skinning. With that tier 3 skinning knife, we will skin these so much faster than with the tier 2 knife. It's way quicker. Also, because we're in Bridgewatch, cougars or cat monsters are, the area's specialty, and these are tier 3 animals that you can skin a little bit faster. Look at this. It's slightly faster than the Moa birds, because these are considered a resource monster, which, if you're in a different zone, you might fight a stone golem, and then you would, harvest the stone, or like an iron golem and harvest the iron, or like a weird dryad cloth creature and harvest the plants. That's just how this game works. Now you can see here, my knife is almost broken. It's in the red, and it won't go to 0% durability. It'll go like to 15 before it won't let you skin anymore. But we're also close to unlocking tier 3. So, technically, I guess we didn't need to buy 2 knives, but it's still safe to do so because sometimes they break faster and sometimes they don't. Maybe they were adjusted at some point to not break until you hit that tier 3 threshold. But let's see if I skin these 2. I'm still at 19%. We're almost there. Let's go ahead and grab this one, and just, launch our spells at it. Remember, our auto attack does an area of effect damage as well, and they're dying to the curse, so there you go. So there we go, 20%. When you see this, Journeyman Animal Skinner, click that, click Learn. We now have unlocked Tier 3 Skinning. And we're going to do the same thing to unlock Tier 4 up next. Alright, so this is something you need to get into the habit of doing. Open your map when you're in Bridgewatch. Go to this specific repair station. Never, ever, ever go to a repair station in the player-owned plots, okay? Because those are scams, and they will overcharge the hell out of you. This is the one that is owned by the city, by NPCs, and they don't charge a usage fee. A usage fee is when the player sets a fee for how much you use the crafting station based on its nutrition spent. So when you use a crafting station, the employee at the station has to be fed, and you have to pay that fee. But this repair station is owned by the public, owned by, you know, the city itself. So there's no additional fee. So always repair at this guy. There's stories of new players that went down here and used a repair station and became broke. Alright. Also, I didn't mention it, but in your options, and I forget where it's at, I think it's in social, you should absolutely auto-deny duel requests, because... Also, auto-deny guild invites. This is important for later, okay? If you join a guild, you have to wait like 3 days before you can make your own. But auto-deny duel requests, because people can... What they'll do is they will attempt to duel you, and they will set a wager or a bet of who is going to win the duel. And what they can do is they just set a wager for all of your money. And essentially, if you're clicking the middle of your screen, you know, to move or do whatever, and they offer to duel you in town, and you click accept, you just lost all of your money. Also, never buy things directly from players in these towns, because they're almost always scamming you. They're manipulating the estimated market value. So once you repair, let's go sell all this junk, okay? So we're going to go ahead and use these silver bags. That's 10,000 silver. We're up to 95,000 silver now, which, again, is a lot for a new player. There are these Reddit posters who complain on Reddit that they've been playing for weeks and they have like 10,000 silver. So let's clear our search parameters here and then go to our sell tab, and we're just going to sell everything, okay? So in this case, this simple stone toy, anything that's something like this is something that the town will automatically buy if it's for the right town. If you click this, it says this will sell in Fort Sterling, which is a town, for 1,000 silver. But you can sell it for slightly less than Bridgewatch. You know, what people do is they'll buy 10,000 of these and then transport it to Fort Sterling and make a profit. But you don't need to worry about that. So just sell everything. You can quick sell it, or you can sell order it. For me, I recommend that you almost always sell order and then undercut by 1, because you will make more silver that way. However, I'm in a rush to make this video, so I'm going to just quick sell it. We've got enough money anyway. Now, these are rugged hides. I'm going to quick sell those. I'm going to quick sell basically everything here just for the sake of the video, but I don't recommend that you do that. I'm also going to sell our novice skinning knives that we paid for, because we can now buy a tier 3 skinning knife. I have 7 of these helmets. It's crazy. Like, a lot of helmets dropped today in the dungeons. And you could do more dungeons if you want to get a better feel of the game, but I don't need to do the dungeons, okay? I already know how to play. But if you want to do more dungeons and get more treasure, because you can get some good stuff in there. It's completely random, though. Alright, so we're going to sell all that stuff, and there we go. We're up to 131,000 silver. We haven't filled this journal yet. We're going to work on that next. Now, we're going to type skinning knife into the search, and we're going to type tier 3, and I'm going to buy just one. You just need to buy one, whatever. I'm going to stack and sort down here so my inventory is nice and clean, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that guild island, and because that's basically our home, we're going to go to the travel planner and dump our stuff in the chests. So I'm going to the guild island now, and we're just going to store a few things. Alright, so what I'm going to store in this chest, because this is bound to your players, your other characters cannot share this chest. But because these items have this no sell icon, you cannot put them in a public chest. You can't trade these to your other characters. So they have to go in this chest. And this is where they will be stored for later use, if I want to use them. And for now, we have our skinning knife, we have our journals. Let's go and make some money. But first, we need to complete that quest that we got from... We should have did this at the start, okay? We're going to complete the quest that we got at the, you know, from the starter town. So we're going to open our map, and right here is the quest giver. Right here, he's over here. And we're going to click complete, and there we go. So we got the Royal Sigil. That's another 7.5 in value. And you could also continue questing here. However, we don't need to. We're pretty much good. We're pretty much set. So I'm going to go sell this, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do for our next step. For our next step, we're going to do a combination of gathering, so we can unlock tier 4 skinning and our skinning gear. But also, we're going to unlock tier 4 capes and mounts, and tier 4 bags. Because once we unlock tier 4 capes, we can equip magical capes that have cool properties, like shooting lightning when you attack things, or freeing you from crowd control from enemy players. So what I'm going to do is we're going to travel to an area where skinning is very good, but we probably won't make it that far. So what I'm going to do is we're at Bridgewatch, and I'm going to exit out the bottom right side to this zone called Long March Meadow. This is a tier 4 zone, and we're going to make our way down and to the right multiple times, all the way over here to Steelhide Meadow, which is a great place to skin for new players. But we're also going to kill mobs along the way, and the mobs we're going to be killing can potentially be dangerous, but also we're going to stop and skin things now with our tier 3 knife. So we got these little Impalas here. Just go ahead and dismount and pull them, and you know, just kill them as you see fit. And now look at this tier 3 knife. Look how fast this is. This is so much faster, right? And once we get gathering gear, you're going to get so much more hide and more fame from getting more hide. And these journals are going to fill up super quick. Like this one is almost full. I'm going to just kind of ride around and maybe fill it up. What do you think? You want to watch me do a little bit of skinning? I have so many videos on my channel about skinning. Now, normally I wouldn't stop for just 2 mobs, but because you're a new player, you need to stop for every single mob, okay? And this process will take a little bit of time. But let's zoom that map out. Holy crap. We need to go down here to Drywater Meadow, and so I'm just going to travel along, and every time I see anything I can skin, I am going to kill them and skin their bodies. But because we have a tier 3 knife, we can now skin tier 4 mobs. You can skin 1 tier above your knife value, okay? So because it's a tier 3 knife, I can skin a tier 4 mob. And a tier 4 mob in this zone are, they're called giant stags. I'll go ahead and show you some. Let's go find one real quick. And they will take a little bit of time to skin, but you should always stop and kill them and skin them. Because, here's one. The giant stag, because these animals in particular have a chance to drop a baby stag, which can be raised into a mount, but we're not going to be doing any animal raising. They sell for quite a lot. Now, these may look like really hard to kill mobs that are dealing a lot of damage to me, okay? But they're not, because once we unlock tier 4 skinning, the skinning armor that we will get has what's called hide animal poison. And when we cast hide animal poison, we will deal a tremendous amount of damage to these with just our regular attacks, and they will die super fast. And that hide animal poison will be, it will be even, you know, it will deal more damage because of our crypt candle that we bought earlier. Remember that 50,000 silver investment we bought? That's going to increase our hide animal poison, so much so that these things will drop dead super duper quick. It's such good money, especially when you get baby drops, but also, hey, look, someone killed these and they didn't skin them, so that's free money that someone just left on the ground for us, okay? But also, tier 4 mobs have a chance to drop a skill tome to level up your gathering faster. However, those things should never be used and they should always be sold. Because by selling them, you will make hundreds of thousands of silver, and they're completely random. You might not see one for like an hour or 2 hours. You might see 4 or 5 of them in 30 minutes. They're, like I said, completely random. So it's all luck. And they will just appear in your inventory. They won't be a loot bag on the ground. Baby drops will be a loot bag, so be on the lookout when you kill these, okay? So far, we filled one of these journals, and we have a new one that's open. Also, the higher the tier mob, the more fame that you're going to get for skinning them. So yeah, we're going to continue doing this until we get this Adept Animal Skinner to 20%. You can see it's only at 1%. It will take a little bit more, and we're going to use basically the last little bit of our learning points unlocking this. And this is these are enchanted, which we cannot skin because we do not have a tier 4 knife. So if they're glowing right now, you can't skin. Look at this. This is free money that someone left on the ground. You can see these are recently killed, so it's not going to let me loot them until 2 minutes have passed. Because we didn't kill him. This guy over here killed him. This is clearly a new player to my right here. I'm curious. Also, you see this? This is a skeleton mob. We're going to go ahead and kill this skeleton mob for fame. And these are tier 4 mobs, but they die incredibly fast with our build. There we go. We got a large, look at that, 1,800 fame for killing that, okay? This is why we didn't grind in the earlier zones except Tutorial Island, okay? So, I'm going to continue to skin these, and I'm going to show you enchanted tier 4 mobs when I run into them, which should be in a little while. Right as I said that and stopped recording, one popped up. You see how this skeleton mage has like a green glow to him? This is an enchanted mob. They will give a tremendous amount of fame when killed, but they're also much more difficult to fight. So you're going to have to put on your big boy boots, and this guy tried to steal it. But, there we go, 3,824, and he drops a good amount of silver, almost 900 silver for that. Okay, let's inspect this new player here. He's flat tier 4, not even enchanted. So we're already doing better than he is, and I guarantee you he's probably, you know, it's like his first week. Okay, there are so many players that don't even reach tier 4 for like 1 to 2 weeks, and we've done it in a single quick setting, and we have plenty of silver to our name, and a guild hall all to ourselves, which we're going to build up in the coming hour or two. Can I skin this? Yes, I can. Again, free money on the ground. It's just free money. And this is only going to get faster. I know it's slow right now, but it gets so much faster later. Like, if you want, I can show you my my main character who has tier 8 skinning with all the good stuff. And just how much money, like he will get so much hide from this. This would be at least 7,000 or 8,000, and he would be able to vacuum these up in like half a second. But maybe that's for later in the video. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, and I forgot one major detail. You can go ahead and eat one of these pork pies so that you can gain that 15% increased gather yield, which will give you more hides, and it'll make the leveling process a slightly bit faster. However, I should have bought 2 of these knives because the durability is already 65%, and I'm only 3% in. We need to get this number to 20%. It's going to take a little bit of time, but hey, it's an MMORPG. You got to do the grind, and it will pay off later, trust me. Okay, so I have encountered a mini-boss in the open world. These are highly dangerous monsters, and we're going to be needing to use our ox to defeat it in the most efficient way. So I'm going to open with a curse stack my poison, and immediately jump on the mount. And then I'm just going to sit on it and dodge arrows for a bit. We've taken its health down to 40%. Again, I'm going to throw a curse stack, dodge the spells. We got more adds here. Our mount can handle this, but it's tough. This is generally a very tough fight, especially because we're just started, we're brand new. And so I'm using all of my abilities here, and we've almost got him taken out, and he should die to the curse stacks. That mount is going to let us tank more hits, and there we go. 15,000 fame for that, by the way. And it's all thanks to the ox. That's why we're using the ox. So we can dismount, cast spells, jump on, and look, we got a tier 2 bag and a little rune, which we're just going to sell. Those are for crafting and upgrading your enchantment levels. But there you go. That is, when you see those, you need to absolutely go all in on them because they are worth a ton of fame. I didn't even see how much silver it dropped, but it's a good amount of silver. And once we upgrade our gear later on, they'll be one-shottable. But right now, we're still kind of low on the gear, and they are meant to be very tough fights that most solo players, early on, new players, won't be able to do, but we can absolutely cheese them with what I just showed you. Also, if you want to break from skinning and just want to get some fame, you can do these solo dungeons. They're only tier 4. They won't give you that much. You're not going to make as much money in them, and it's going to kind of delay your progression. But the reason why is this is legacy content. Before open world mobs gave a respectable amount of fame, you had to do solo dungeons. It was the only way. But now that you have these open world mobs, you can just farm them instead, and they give so much more fame. So, see, that mob gave 3.82 thousand fame, and I'm going to show you about a similar mob in this dungeon, and just how much little you'll receive. Now, this is one of the harder dungeons, the Morgana dungeons. I'm also overweight now because I don't have my ox with me, which is bad, so I can't even really do the dungeon. I could switch to the lower weight, but look, this is a pretty beefy mob. They're not as strong as the open world mobs, but just look how much fame this thing is going to give. It's not a lot, okay? Like, it's a pathetic amount, okay? It only gave 412. Like, they're not worth doing for fame, and the treasure you get from the loot inside, also not really worth it, okay? But also, let me show you about the overweight thing. If your mount is not spawned, you're overweight. That's how the ox works. When it is spawned, or when it is nearby, look, I'm at 14% carry weight, but if I despawn it, now I'm at 174. So, because we're not going into a PvP zone, we don't have to worry about our mount despawning, because it only despawns when players attack you, or if you walk outside of the circle. So we're pretty much safe. But yeah, just continue skinning and killing mobs. I can also pull these guys if I want. And I can just kill them all at once. That's what this build is about. It's all about hitting things in a big line. And we have boots that heal us, so we're fine. We can just curse them. You can also jump on... Look, I'm taking a lot of damage. I can jump on the mount and just let them die. Like, they're just going to die from the curse stacks. And my Ox can take this all day. It has an insane amount of health. Tier 2 little book of spells there, so not too bad. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. If you see a dungeon entrance like this is a group dungeon. These are highly dangerous. You will not be able to solo them, but because you are learning the ways of the cursed staff, which is part of the warlock tree, you are speccing up the weapons line that is the absolute best in the game at solo and group dungeons. That's another reason why I'm having you learn cursed staves early on, so that if you ever want to fame up a weapon, you can just equip what's called a shadow collar, and then you can solo group dungeons, and you can fame up other weapons, because in this game, once you've maxed out a weapon's specialty, you will get something called combat fame credits. Combat fame credits can be spent to automatically level up other weapons without ever having to use them. And that's how most players level up weapons that are a pain in the butt or don't have area of effect spells and so on. So I'm setting you up to be able to do that later down the line. Now, if you're feeling really brazen, you can try to fight multiple enchanted mobs at once. I don't recommend it as a brand new character, but once you spec up and we get to tier 5 weaponry and we get a Caerleon cape, which I'm going to introduce in just a little bit, it will make these fights slightly easier, but you can always abuse the fact that you have your Ox so that you won't take as much damage, and just use all your abilities. Oh no, I despawned the Ox. I'm super dead here, maybe. This is going to be a real challenge, because without the Ox, I can't move. And I'm going to stand in. But hey, we still killed him. So, because again, we're pretty juiced up on our gear. And hey, a tier 3 cape, that's an upgrade, but it's not really an upgrade. All a cape does is give you energy regeneration and a little bit more maximum energy, which is your mana. But we're going to replace that cape pretty soon once I need to go back and repair this knife. But for now, we're fine. Because, again, I can just abuse the Ox and stand here. Dodge some attacks, drop a curse. Not stand in the slashes, but, you know, just it makes it really easy to fight these things with the Ox. It's a little too easy, actually. But there we go, 4.2k fame just for killing that. And remember, we're getting a 50% fame bonus because we have the 3 days premium active. If you don't have premium active, you're only going to get half as much fame. So this is why we're making the most of it. This is why I highly stress that you only do this when you have lots and lots of free time. But yeah, we're killing the enchanted mobs, and I'm going to use my armor to become immune to that, which also increases my damage. And use my boots to heal that damage. And we're also going to kill, you know, these animals, make sure that we're skinning them nice and good. Again, we're duo leveling, gathering, and open world mobs, which is the absolute best way not only to make money, but to get better gear. As you fame up, you will unlock higher tiers of gear, which we will be able to easily afford in our first 3 days. If you follow this, you will have a full 8.3 set, or maybe a tier 7.1 or something. You will absolutely be fully Gucci'd out and fully geared, able to sustain yourself, and able to farm. So what you're seeing on the screen right here is your reputation. If you go to your stats page, you'll have a little reputation here. So what that does is the more reputation you have, you get this little buff. Like if a player attacks you in a dangerous zone, you have 9% additional defense and 10% crowd control resistance against them once you rank that all the way up. It's pretty easy to rank up, but at the same time, if you want to murder players, you want to have that ranked up, because if you rank too low, then you aren't allowed in towns, okay? So like Dreaded here, this is if you kill a lot of players, you know, you beat them up. It's not going to show me the stats for some reason, but you can see you can't access blue zones, you can't access yellow zones, you can't even access a red zone until you farm that back up, which it will passively go back up over time, but it does give you a buff of additional damage to players. So that's the reputation system. Alright, another mini-boss. Let's go. Let's get our poison up. Hit him with the auto. I'm going to dodge that. Hit him with the curse. Jump on my mount so I can tank some hits. I'm waiting on my cooldowns. Dodge that. Hop back on the mount. And you can see it's just a nice little dance of jumping on and off the mount. And remember, if you're attacked as you channel getting on your mount, it will interrupt you. But that's okay. Because you just click it again. And the enemies attack kind of slow anyway. So there we go. We killed them super easy with our curse explosions. That guy dropped 2,601 silver. He how much? 14,480 fame, which is a lot for a brand new character. Very, very, very good stuff. Anyway, I'm going to continue skinning here, and my knife is about to break, and then I'm going to show you what to buy next. We're going to upgrade our cape, and yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Alright, so here we are. Your journeyman skinning knife is broken and needs to be repaired. I got to 10%. So I need to repair this, and then we can hopefully get to 20%, and then we can upgrade to tier 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to town. I messed it up though. When you're on your mount, your R spell is called Journey Back. This will cost me 1,000 silver to ride back to, or to teleport back to town. This is new to the game. And well, I'm technically 2 zones away, so if you think 1,000 silver is worth 4 minutes of your time, which, let's be real, it's not. But if you think it is, also, another thing too, if you see these on the ground, this is called a hidden treasure. See, there's like a little faint glow coming from the bones? Just attack this, it'll drop silver and maybe an item. So it dropped 1,200 silver, but no item. If you see those, go ahead and smash them, it's free money. Now that we're back in town for our first trip, we're going to repair, which is 1,600, not too bad. And then we're going to sell everything in our inventory, which is all of the hide that we've harvested so far. We're going to sell the filled journals and buy some more. So let's go ahead and go to this market, and like I said, you should probably do sell order. But in this case, I'm just doing quick sell because I want to make the video faster. And, oh, we were at 150-something thousand silver, and then you can see that how much we're going to be at after I sell everything here. And this is just all the stuff that dropped as we skinned. You can see here we got some items from the boss monsters we killed, or just regular monsters. And the filled journals, so we're going to sell 5 of those. I'm not going to sell order these, because I would lose money. I am going to sell order them because they're being kind of cheap on it. So, yeah, in this case, I don't want to lose that much money each time, so I'm going to sell order that. And look at that, I'm up to 211,000 silver, which is, again, quite a lot for someone that just started out. I could buy another pork pie if I want, but I do have 2 of them. Oh, you know what? I actually forgot. We need to upgrade our cape, okay? And this is what's going to double our DPS. It's called the Caerleon cape, and what it does is it's super cool. Let me show you. So I'm going to type Caerleon for Caerleon cape. And I'm going to check the price of an enchantment level 1. I like to have everything enchanted at 0.1 just because. So we're going to go ahead and buy that for 84,000. And you may be thinking, well, that's expensive. But hey, it's going to double our damage. So we're going to buy this cape, and let me show you what it does. This cape will allow us to double cast our first slot ability twice in a row. Well, guess what that is? Check it out. I'm going to go ahead and dismount over here and watch the power of the cape. I can now cast 2 of these back to back. This will immediately stack 4 curses on your target, which means your death curse just doubled in damage, your damage over time just doubled, and you can do this immediately upon dismount, and the cape, check it out, the cape only has a cooldown of 35 seconds. So, it is super, super good. I'm going to go ahead and sell this old cape that I have now, because this Caerleon cape, you're gonna use it forever. It is such a good buy. Your damage will be wild in, okay? I'm also going to go back to my guild island now and buy more gamekeeper journals. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, we filled 5 of them in the time it took to break our knife, so nah, I think I'll just fill these 5 up. I'm not too greedy. But I'm going to head back out now and continue what I'm doing, which is just skinning mobs and killing any kind of boss monster I may come across, or ones with that green glow, or ones that have a lot of HP. Like, you see the scrawny little skeletons that are around? I don't stop for them because they barely give any fame. But yeah, like, let's see if I can pull these 4 real quick. So, with the Caerleon cape, these things get look at this. Just double cast, walk forward, and then laser beam them, and I missed one of them. This little baby one here, it missed, but it's whatever. So, I'm going to keep grinding. Also, from time to time, up here at this top button, click Activities, then click Faction Warfare, and see if you've unlocked Faction Warfare yet. I'm 84,844 out of 157,000, so I'm a little bit past halfway there. Once this unlocks, we will go to town immediately, and we will faction flag up so we can earn additional really, really good rewards. So keep an eye out on that. And there we have it. Animal Skinner is now ready to be learned. 35 learning points. It's totally worth it, okay? Now we have unlocked Tier 4 skinning. We can use the skinning gear, the backpack, we can unlock Tier 5 tomes from animals. We can also use an Avalonian skinning knife, which these things are worth quite a bit, but they increase your yield by an additional 10%. And they have more durability. So as soon as you learn that, head back to town, and it's time to upgrade our gear and sell what we got. It looks like we made another 63,000. So it's time to sell everything, including our Tier 3 skinning knife. We don't need to keep it. We can just get rid of it. I'm selling everything that I picked up, everything that I skinned along the way, and that's going to give us a nice chunk of change to buy our skinning gear, which is going to be absolutely awesome. We have 4 filled tomes. Looks like someone undercut me by 1. I'm going to go ahead and add to my order here. Let's see. Go ahead and add the tomes and then undercut him. That's going to cost me a little under 1,000. If they don't sell, we will feed these to our laborers once we have those set up. But for now, let's get that skinning gear. So I'm going to type Avalonian skinning knife. Now this looks like it's expensive, and it is, but it's totally worth it, and you can sell this when you're done, so don't fret. This is an 80,000 skinning knife that's going to increase our yield by 10%. So remember, the pork pies are worth 3,000 and they give us 15%. These stack. These all stack. There we go. We have an Avalonian skinning knife. Now, we're going to go to category and go to, where is it? Gathering gear? Gathering gear. And we're going to go to Skinner garb. Okay, there it is. I'm just curious. Now, you'd never want to buy enchanted gear for skinners. Well, you never want to buy enchanted gathering gear except for the skinning chest, because it increases your hide animal poison damage greatly. So I'm just checking the price. 75,000 for the chest piece. That's a little bit steep right now, but we could afford it. Okay, we got 29,000 for the 0.2 and 4K for the 0.1. I don't like the damage that much, but I'm willing to at least do the 0.1. I don't know. Nah. I'm just gonna say buy the cheapest crap possible, because you're gonna go to Tier 5 pretty soon anyway in the next couple days. Skinner cap, you do not need enchanted for that either, and then Skinner work boots. There you go. Those are a little more expensive for some reason. And now we have our Skinner set. Now you could also buy the backpack, but I'm gonna tell you why you should wait. You want to wait until Tier 5, because the way backpacks work is it reduces the weight of that tier and lower. So, because Tier 5 is a safe zone, once you unlock Tier 5, you can use a Tier 5 backpack, and it's completely fine. You're never going to lose it, so you don't even need the backpack. You still have an ox, okay? The next thing we need to upgrade at some point is going to be our mount, so we can move faster between mobs and carry more weight. But also, you know, we can buy a Tier 4.1 bag. We don't really need it because we have the ox right now. The ox does all the heavy lifting. So let me explain how gathering gear actually works. Okay, so the way gathering gear works is you put it on. We're going to select the skills Bear Trap, the skill Hide Animal Poison. This is very important, and you can use Scent of the Wilderness, or you can just use Rejuvenating Sprint. I'm going to use Rejuvenating Sprint for the healing. So gathering gear, it stacks up to 10. So the way this works is, so you can't just switch to your gathering gear, skin an animal, and switch to your combat gear. That would be cheating. The way it works is you put on the gathering gear, and you'll see 3 little buff icons at the top. Over time, these will stack to 10. You can see they've already stacked to 2. The longer you wear them, the more they stack up, and they max out at 10 stacks. At 10 stacks, this armor will give you, it's 5% increased gathering yield, and the helmets are 2.5% each. So we're gaining 15% gathering yield from all of our armor. We're going to gain 10% from our skinning item, and another 15% from the pork pie. It's not that much right now, but if you check out Tier 8 skinning materials, a Tier 8 armor will actually give you a whopping 35% increased gathering yield. So it combined with the helmet and the boots, you get 70% from the armor, and then you get additional 20% from the weapon. So you can see that it starts to get really, really powerful the more you do it. You can also see your gathering yield right down here. So hide yield right now only at 3.5% increase. but that also will jump up when you're skinning animals. Again, this is just a huge more amount of hide you will be getting, but also, because you are harvesting more hide, you will also be getting more fame, which means you level up faster. Alright, so at this point now, I'm going to go buy 10 more of those journals, and we're going to be able to fill them up extra quick now that we have the gathering gear. But also, remember, hide animal poison is a huge amount of damage. This is going to make our auto attacks, every single one, for 40 seconds, deal an additional 765 damage, which is actually going to be increased by our crypt candle. Okay, so let's buy more of these. I'm going to buy 10 more, and there we go. That's 4,000, and we're at 98,000. We're in tier 4 gathering on our very first day. Our weapon level, what is our weapon level right now? Okay, our weapon level is 6. We're pretty close to level 10. Once we hit level 10, we can wear tier 5 weapons. And we could also upgrade this tier 5 weapon to tier 5.3 or even possibly tier 5.4 if they have it on the market, which will allow us to one-shot mobs much stronger. We can maybe 2 or 3 shot boss monsters, which I haven't even shown you a true boss monster yet. They have, you know, that little circle under the mobs? A boss monster in the open world will have a spiky bottom, okay? And let's see, have I unlocked Faction Warfare yet? I am very close to unlocking Faction Warfare. As soon as that unlocks, we're going to earn an incredibly high amount of fame tomes and additional silver per hour. So we're going to, right now, we're going to go ahead and bank our combat gear, because we don't need to switch to it. We're going to be focusing on gathering for now, but you're not going to focus on gathering all day long. You're only going to focus on gathering for as many laborers as you want to farm for, okay? And I'm going to explain that later, but for now, we're going to fill these 10 tomes up, and I'm going to go ahead and put my gear just in here, my combat gear. So we're strictly gathering right now, okay? So I'm going to go and gather, I guess, for 30 minutes or so. And because it's a tier 4 knife, this thing won't break as quickly. And because it's tier 4, we will skin even faster than before. So I'm going to go out and skin, and I'll be back in 30 minutes. Oh, I forgot to show you how hide animal poison works. You just simply cast it, and you can mount up. And then whenever you go to skin an animal or fight an animal, you just auto-attack it once, and look at its health just completely drain. Okay, now right now we only have a tier 4.1 crypt candle, and we only have tier 4 armor, but as you level this up, as you get stronger skinning armor and a stronger crypt candle, they immediately die. They will die in a single attack, but you just auto-attack it, you cast that. Like, this thing is as good as dead, okay? It's dying to poison, it's dying to your curse stacks, it's dying to your damage over time. Also, gathering gear is quite tanky. You'll notice that I have far more HP, and I also have far more armor than when I was using my combat gear, but I deal technically less damage. So, also, hide animal poison does not work on mobs. So, mobs might take a little bit longer to kill, except, well, we're an absolute powerhouse. Also, hide animal poison is a heal over time, making it... You can tank a lot of things. You can also use the bear trap spell. In this case, I'm gonna have to abuse my mount just a little bit. I got too much aggro there. I've gotta abandon that. So yeah, don't pull too many mobs. You gotta be a little bit careful. But hide animal poison is a nice heal over time. Let's try that fight again as soon as my cooldowns are back up. So remember, you're dealing less damage, but you are tankier, so that's cool. So there's a heal. There's a second heal. Go ahead and throw one of those out. My Caerleon cape's still not back yet. We're just going to have to fight this a little more naturally. Maybe kill the ads. Can I mount up before? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's mount up. Get those 4 stacks going. Cast that. Hop back on the mount. It's super cheap to do this, but like our mount can tank for quite a while. Hit the laser. Hit the bear trap on him. There we go. We killed the boss monster. And once you, I'm not even going to pick that up. That's a tier 2 helmet. It's super cheap. But once you get a tier 5.3 weapon, you don't have to worry about your offensiveness. Will be, it's just done. It's you're like you'll never have to worry again about your offensive power. But until then, you still need to be farming these mobs, even in your gathering sets. And just use your heal over time spells. Like, it's fine. Like, there's a Caerleon cape kicked in right when we needed it. Alright, so we have animal poison activated. Again, it's active for 40 seconds, so just tag everything once, then start casting your spells, and you'll notice that these things die incredibly fast. Re-tag them with more poison, if necessary, which at tier 4, it is necessary. But you can see we're skinning slightly faster. The tier 4 mobs, not too fast, but let me show you how fast we'll skin that Impala. It is just like, we're not quite at vacuum speed levels, but here, I'm going to go ahead and kill it so I can save you a little bit of time. So we got the hide animal poison, and look how fast we can harvest this thing now. Look at that, just boop, 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 done. It's that easy, it's that good. Oh, there was a dead one right there. I didn't even notice. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and do 30 minutes of farming. Sometimes mobs will drop these Adept's Tomes of Insight. These do not have an icon where you can't sell them. This is basically the item that we bought way early on to skip leveling. And my recommendation to you, even though they are 10,000 combat fame, always, always, always sell these. The silver is worth way more than the fame, except for at the very start of the game, of course. So always sell them. Now, I want to mention, right before your pork pie runs out, I have 30 seconds left on it, and I'm at 62% weight. If your pork pie runs out, you can't use Journey Back if your weight is above 100%. So I'm going to teleport back to town before my 30 minutes are up. And yeah, we'll see how we did and how we compare once you max out your skinning up to tier 8. Okay, so I was able to farm, this is 255,000 worth of silver. Okay, the gathering gear makes a huge difference. However, we have to take away 70,000 of that because that is how much the knife is worth, but also we need to factor in repair bills. We have a 14,000 repair bill, so we need to minus, we're going to round that up to 15,000 and then 70,000, so that's 85,000 down, right? So the rest of that is still pretty good. In 30 minutes time, we made over 100-something thousand, which, yes, you could make a new character and do the rough stone method, as I explained earlier, to make more, but this strengthens and levels up and makes your character better. So, because you'll be playing the game to fight other players and have adventures, you can't just harvest rocks all day. You need to strengthen your character, okay? But we also filled 11 of these Gamekeeper journals in 30 minutes. Now, let me give you a power perspective. My tier 8 Skinner, my main character that I play, can fill 48 of these in the same amount of time, okay? Which means I can farm, what is that? It's over 4 times the amount. So I can skin 4 times more and receive far, far more hide, technically more than 4.4 times more hide, on my main character. So that's what we're building up to, okay? And that's going to take quite a lot of time. It's going to take, probably, if you do it successfully and properly, it'll take you about 30 to 45 days of just playing 30 minutes a day. It's not too hard, but let's go ahead and sell and see what our money's looking like. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell everything here. And also, I do want to mention that this 30 minutes of skinning got me 5% to the way to tier 5. Now let me talk about that for a sec, because it's a little different going from tier 3 to tier 4 than tier 4 to tier 5. I am going to sell order those so I can get a little bit more money out of that. And let's see, that's 798. I'll just quick settle that then. Let's see, yeah, quick sell that, and then the filled tomes we can add. It looks like we sold one. These don't have a high movement, but everything we don't sell, we can put into our laborers later. It's fine. So I'm going to add that and update the order because I'm still the undercut, and I don't really need to sell these beginner things. I'm going to go ahead and remove those from auction and just trash them because it's pennies and they just take up. I don't need these tier 1 tools. Let's go ahead and just trash those. That was an accident. I meant to quick sell them, but whatever. It's how it is. So we're now at 250,000 silver. And let's look at our power level for Cursed Staff, okay? Cursed Staff is level 9 out of 10. We're almost at level 10. When we hit level 10, we get a tier 5, which introduces a new spell. Well, Cursed Tar we don't unlock until level 40. But we will have that available to use later on. So real quick, let's price check. Let's see, apostrophe S, dang it, I can't type, Cursed Staff, okay, and then we're going to go to tier 5, you can see it's only 11,000, but what about 5.3, 305,000, that's a huge, well, that's great Cursed Staff, 369,000 right here, that's a huge, huge, huge power jump. Is 0.4 available? No, okay, it's still new, still came out not too long ago, but yeah, this is a huge, 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 massive power jump. Only 100,000 more to go. We can totally get there. This will let us just annihilate bosses. So let me show you the power level of this. This is 1,131 item power. Our current item power is only 850. So we're gaining like almost, it's like 50% more damage. Okay, but we can also upgrade the Crypt Candle for more damage. And as we get to tier 5, Skinner Garb, let's talk about that too. So skinning right now is up down here. To get to tier 5 skinning, I am 5% of the way. When I hit 20%, I can use 117 learning points. Because I have 3 days of premium, I will receive 90 learning points in those 3 days, which will put me at about, what is that, 120 something, right? Which will allow me to go to tier 5 and unlock the tier 5 Avalonian Skinny Knife and all that kind of fun stuff so we can deal more damage to mobs. It just gets faster and faster and faster. And a tier 5 knife skins, you know, all the mobs so much faster. So what I'm going to recommend that you do is you continue to skin and buy tomes and sell journals, okay? I'm sorry, buy journals and sell journals. You know, you buy them empty from your little merchant here. And you're going to do that for 1.5 more hours, okay? So, you're going to, I made what, 150,000 after selling that. So we're going to come here, and we're going to go to journals, and we're going to buy, well, we can fill 11 per hour, or per 30 minutes, so we would buy 33 more. And once these are filled, we should be at 20%, and then we're going to stop for the next 4 days, and we're going to focus on our combat skills instead, okay? So, that is what we're doing next. 1.5 more hours of skinning. Alright, so what I've done now is I've simulated the next 1.5 hours of skinning. However, my fame will not show over here on the right side of that happening. But I did update my silver 450,000 because we were going to basically make 150,000 per hour. And we will fill 11 of these gamekeepers per hour, so there we go, we have filled 33 of these, and we have the money to show for it, just so I can speed up this video creation process and teach you what to do next. Once you're done leveling skinning to 20%, which again will not be shown here in the video because I'm strapped for time, go ahead and put your skinning gear away, put your skinning knife away, and equip your battle gear once again from your stash. And it's time that we use this silver to upgrade not only our character, but also our hideout, so we can get laborers going, so that we can massively profit from these gamekeeper journals. Because it will take us 4 days to accumulate the learning points for tier 5 skinning, we don't really need to touch it, and we have at least 30 of these journals filled, so we can profit off the next 3 days. It will take half a day for the laborers to reach enough happiness for these to be worth using, so technically 3.5 days. So, step number 1 is we're going to upgrade this to tier 3. That's right, we're going to get from a tent to a small straw hut. We will need 900 sandstone blocks, 30 rough stone, and 300 rough logs. And because we have an ox, we can easily acquire that without many trips. So, I've taught you how to purchase rough logs earlier in the video, but let's do it again together. I'm going to purchase 300 rough logs. I'm just going to type 20 here. Let's see. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, there we go. We got 20 rough logs. Now, rough stone, we only need 30 of these. I'm going to go ahead and buy them rather than pick them myself, which costs, you know, quite a lot of money. So it's fine. And it's only 6,000. We've got over nearly 700,000. There we go. And then we need sandstone block. So we need 900 of those. And lucky for us, we're in Bridgewatch, so it's cheaper. That's only 74,000. It's super cheap. And we're just going to take everything because we're in an ox and we can carry all of it, no problem, without going overweight. That's why we're still using the ox, fellas. So let's go plug that in and upgrade our guild hall to tier 3. Are you excited? Because most players, they don't get to this step for their first month or two. I'm not kidding. Most players neglect housing, they neglect guild halls, they neglect laborers, and it's your literal first day and you're already at tier 3. Let's go. Go ahead and fill these up. And it takes a little bit, but there we go. We now have a tier 3 guild hall. Look at it. We have wooden floors finally. It's looking nicer. We got to get some furniture up in here, and guess what? Those other characters on our account are the perfect candidates to do so. And let me just show you how we're going to do that. We're going to put the ox in there. I'm pretty sure they can ride. I think they might be able to ride the ox. If not, it's going to be a little tricky. But we're going to go ahead and do the gold method once again. So I'm going to buy, let's do, what is it, 30 gold? 30 gold, yeah, it's plenty. There we go. Okay, so let's switch characters now to one of them that has focus. You might have to wait a day or two to do this step. You could also just pay more money, but this is the cheap method. So depending on how much time has passed, your other characters will have accumulated focus. Remember the ones that you ran through the tutorial and got the 3 days of premium? Well, every day you will receive 10,000 focus if you have premium. These characters will eventually end at 29,999 focus, which we are going to use to craft furniture to fill that tier 3 guild hall with, so that our laborers will gain what's called happiness, and that will give them more output when we give them journals. So, I'm on the Focus Benji character now. I'm going to sell that 30 gold. We're going to go ahead and just sell that 30 gold, and there we go. Now we have 129,000 to work with. Unfortunately, he cannot ride an ox, so I have to buy a mule. I know, we could have just kept the mule, but whatever. Just buy a mule, 5,000, and then buy a bag, tier 2. I don't think he can wear tier 3. Yeah, just buy a tier 2 bag. It's whatever. You know, it's fine. You can also buy boot. Just buy any boot. This will give you some carry weight. It'll give you at least 6 kilograms. There we go. Now he can carry some stuff. And now what we have to do is a little bit of math, and I'm going to teach you how to use the player shops, because we're going to go to an actual shop owned by a player and craft furniture from it, okay? So we're going to go to the main part of Bridgewatch, open our map, and we're looking for a symbol that is like a little hammer and a spike. This is the tool maker. Left click on the tool maker, it will highlight all the tool makers in the town. What you're looking for, there's a lot going on here in this tooltip. You want to look under where it says access rights, where it says usage fee per 100 nutrition consumed for users. You are not an associate, you are a user. So this is 2,000. That's expensive. That's too expensive. Let's go over here. This one is 3,000. This one is 9,999. Okay, this one's 230. That's a good shop. And this one down here is 229. That's the best deal. 229 right here at the bottom, owned by OJ. So we're going to go for now, and we're going to do some basic math together. All right, so what we need 10 beds, and we need 2 tables. 2 tables and 10 beds. You can just go to any shop to do the math, because we just need to buy the ingredients for the tables and beds, okay? And we're going to get a little bit back, a little bit bonus, so we can sell that back. So we're going to go down here to the furniture tab, and we're going to go to tier 3. We need 10 beds, okay? So let's do the math together. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you, so I'll just do the math for you, okay? So it's 20 cloth, 10 planks, and we need 10 of those, so that would be what, 200 and then 100, right? So that's easy. Okay, now we need 2 tables, so that would be 60 planks, okay? So there you go, 60 planks, and then we need 60 cloth. There we go, math complete. Let me show it on the screen for you. This is how much you need to buy from the market.
Very well.
And what we're going to do is we're going to focus craft those. And normally you would do this with, I'll go ahead and show you. We can go ahead and make it happen. Tinkerer journals, all right? And that's going to make us some extra money. Remember, we did Gamekeeper journals? Well, we can do Tinkerer journals as well. So let's go ahead and buy some cloth and some planks. I can take this off the screen now. It's 261.60. Okay. And technically you don't have to buy this many, but I'm lazy. So I'm going to type plank into the search bar and go to tier 3. And let me pull that up again because I've already forgot. I need 160 of these bad boys. So 160 planks is going to cost me 15,000. Not too bad. And then I need cloth. And I need how much? 100... Wait. Did I? Yeah, I need 260 cloth. Okay, 260 cloth is 24,000. And it says I can't carry it all. Yes, that is because I'm on a mule. So that sucks. That's okay. We're fine. We're just a little slow. And oh, you know what? We forgot the tier 3 Tinkerer journals. Okay, so let's type Tinkerer's journal open parentheses E for an empty Tinkerer's journal. And I actually have a cheat sheet. Let me find it for how many we need. And it is 12 of these, so go ahead and buy yourself 12. I could be wrong on this number, but we're going to take 12 Tinkerer Journals, and it's the same way as the Gamekeeper ones. We're going to fill these up and resell them, and it's going to make us a bunch of money. But we are heavily overweight, and that's okay. We're just going to take our time. And you could go store these and do these halvesies, do them, half at a time if you're impatient. But I'm going to trot my way all the way down here to this OJ. Oh, he just raised the price to 30,000. Wow. What a jerk. Okay, we got to go to Crazy Zakilbin now, because he's the only one with a decent price left, and he's even further. He's all the way down here. Always check the prices, man. What happened, OJ? I was, man, that sucks. Well, whatever. That's shop PvP for you. Here we are at the crafting bench. You can see here it's only 230 silver. Thank you. And we're going to go ahead and craft those 10 beds. We're going to type 10. Well, yeah, there we go. We got 10 beds crafted. It's going to cost us 621 silver that goes to the bench. This is how players make their money. We're going to click this focus check mark here. That's going to cost 3,000 focus to craft these 10 beds. Go ahead and craft them up. There we go. And what happens is we're using focus to have a return resource rate of 43.5%. So without focus, you're going to spend more resources. So you can see without focus, we only get 15% back, okay? Now we're going to craft 2 tables. And there you go. So we're going to craft 2 tables. Okay, awesome. Now that we have those, we're a little less underweight, and we can go ahead and put those into the house now. So let's go do that. Now, you can see that I kind of overbought on resources, but we can always sell that back. We only really filled one of these Tinkerer Journals. Let me show you the difference, okay? An empty journal, 1,000. A filled one, almost 3,000. So it's a little bit of extra silver. I would have to craft 99 beds to fill up 10 of these, actually. So, but here's the thing, too, is depending on how crazy you want to get it, you should have multiple guild islands, all with the same setup as you grow and as you play. Because, like I said, I can fill 48 of those journals up in 30 minutes, so I would need 5 guild halls, for just 30 minutes of skinning. Okay, so let's go ahead and put down the furniture now, and we're going to go ahead and place the table. You can just place it wherever. I'm just place a table in the corner. It doesn't matter, as long as it's in the house. You can only place them in the house. So each table is supposed to, seat, what is it, six laborers, but these only have 4 chairs. So I think we need another table. Yeah, I need another table. I need a 3rd table. But we can go ahead and place down the 10 beds, because we can have 10 laborers. And these are just cheap little tier 3 beds. They're little straw beds. They're really sad. But that's all you need to give them 150% happiness. And yes, it doesn't matter where you put them. They don't actually climb in bed. They don't path to the bed. It's just a weird game mechanic, okay? You can put them down however you want. I'm kind of blocking this doorway. I don't ever plan to use that doorway anyway. Why would I need to go over there? But you slap down, line of sight blocked. Okay, cool. You just slap down all the beds. I do need one more table. I kind of messed that up. Again, I'm used to working with higher tier tables, laborers, and stuff. So I'm not used to this low tier stuff. But this is the cheapest way to do it. So let's go craft it. We got plenty of resources. We can craft ourselves another table. Well, it turns out it fills 2 of the Tinkerer Journals. So yeah, get 2 of them. 2 Tinkerer Journals. That's right. However, there is something else we also need to put in the house, and this is trophies. So go to the marketplace, click these little circular arrow buttons to unfilter everything, and then you're going to go down here to category, and you're going to go to trophies, and you're going to go to general trophy, then sort it by tier 2, and you're going to buy 4 of these. They're super cheap. They're like 8 silver. This is 32 silver. They're super, super cheap. Then go to tier 3 and buy 4 of these. Also super cheap. They're only 7 silver each. There you go. Now, change general trophy to hide trophy and go to tier 2. And you're going to buy 4 of these. They're more expensive. They're 3,000 each. Okay, buy 4 of them. Okay, because each trophy serves 3 laborers. And you can have 10 in your house at an early tier. So we need 4 of those. So 369 and then, that last one for that one special one. So, tier 3, buy 4 of these as well. There we go. And we're going to put these all in the house. It's Make sure you pick them up if you're overweight. I'm barely overweight. So we're going to slap down one more table and then 8 trophies. And then we're going to put our laborers down in the house. They will take 16 hours to become happy. And at that 16 hours, we will feed them journals. And then in 22 hours, they will return with an empty journal to refill and resources that we can just sell for extra money. It's that easy. Once you set it up, you don't have to mess with it anymore. You just give them journals every day and you make lots of money. It's that simple. So we're going to slap down one more table here. Just go ahead and put it down wherever. It's fine. And then we're going to slap down these trophies. Just put these wherever it does. Again, it doesn't matter. Just put them in the corner. Again, they don't have to touch the trophies. They don't have to see the trophies. They just have to be in the house. Anywhere in the house is fine. You can make a nice organized house. Mine's a dump because, I mean, look at its little straw beds. They even have stitching on them. That's fine, you know? It's totally fine. Now, I will say, if you wanted to upgrade to a Tier 4 house, which you don't need to, you won't gain any benefit from Tier 4. It's super cheap, and if you want to upgrade to Tier 5, it's a little costly, but you can gain 5 additional laborers per house, or, I'm sorry, per guild hall. However, it's cheaper just to make another guild on an alt character and then build another Tier 3 house, okay? I'm giving you the cheap way, not the fancy pants way, okay? So we put down the fox heads, and now we're going to put down the stuffed wolf heads, and then we're going to put down the laborers. No, I don't want to put that there. I want to make it a little more organized and randomly spaced out. But there we go. So 3 there, and then the last one. All right. Okay, so we've got that down, and I'm just going to move this. I'm just going to pick him up real quick. Oh, I don't have access rights. I got to get on my other character to do that, but let's dump everything in here. This character still has 25,000 focus, which we will be able to spend later on if we want, making lots of money, which I have videos on my channel about that. I'll talk more about that later. Oh wait, before I switch characters, this guy is basically done. He doesn't need to spend any more money. So we have 41,000 silver. We're just going to convert that back to gold. 9 gold, wow, okay. And he's gonna sit with that 2,600, which is fine, it's whatever. It's only 2,600. So let's transfer that back. By the way, if you've decided to make multiple accounts and you want to transfer silver, I have a video on my channel that explains it. Just go to my channel and search how, like, best way to transfer silver. But to do that, you would have to upgrade your guild island to level 2, or just, which is not, you know, a very price-effective way, or just make another character, share access, and what you will do is you would build a little baby crafting station. So you would just go here, and then you could build, let's say, a, let's see, yeah, you just, like, build a cook on it, right? And then you just, like, the cook, it's very cheap materials, you place it down, you give everyone access to it, and, there you go, then you can, absolutely, transfer silver between them. I have a whole video that explains how to do that, I'm not going to explain it here. Here we are, back on the main character. Let's go ahead and move this guy. You don't have to, but we're going to pick him up. And we're gonna, you can put them down however you want. I'm just gonna, you just slap down 10 of these bad boys, okay? So we're gonna put him down. You gotta go to this little parchment, and then you go to Gamekeeper, go to hire. It's gonna cost you a little bit of silver, and we can put down 9 more of these bad boys. And so go ahead and put them all down. Here we go. So now we have 10 Gamekeepers all set up. They've got the trophies, they've got the beds, they've got the tables. Now, when you click on one and you go to manage, okay, first off, they'll be ready in 27 minutes. And then it says increases their happiness to 230 over the next 12 hours and 57 minutes. So not quite 16 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours, whatever. Okay, it's basically half a day. Maybe, yeah, it's like a little over half a day. Okay, so all it takes to level these up to tier 3 is a single one of these journals, okay? And they're full. So when you get, I'm going to go ahead and show you on my main character because I'm not going to wait 12 hours to show you. So here's a sneak peek at a little higher tier house with better beds. This is a tier 5 guild hall. I've got some gamekeepers here. And when you give them one of these tier 2 journals, once they hit tier 3 in that exact house that we just built, they're going to return 150% of the resources, which will give you 57 rugged hide per journal. And you get the empty journal back in 22 hours. So you lose nothing, it's just free money. Now, what this means is that every single day for the rest of your playing, for every guild hall that you have built, you will receive a daily bonus of 31,350 additional silver that you weren't making before. And you may be thinking, well, that's not very much. But it is, especially if you do it in a larger scale. Like I said, in 30 minutes time, I can fill 48 journals in just 30 minutes. Which means I can get 2,736 of these in just 30 minutes. If I wanted to double that, you know, skin for 1 hour. Okay, so in 30 minutes, I make 140,000 additional silver every time. And if I wanted, you know, to skin for an hour, that's 280,000 additional silver for free. It's free. Okay, so we're back on the main character. Let's go ahead and sell all the junk that we have. Just get some extra money. We don't need these planks anymore. They did their duty. We don't need the cloth. Yeah, we overbought, but it's fine. It's totally fine. We don't need the mules. We're basically done with the guild stuff. We can go ahead and sell these Tinkerer journals that we bought because we overbought, and we could sell. Yeah, I think I'll just do a sell order on those, and there we go. So we're up to 500,000. We're almost 500,000. Well, we are 500,000. Okay. At this point, we're also tier 5 now. It's time to upgrade our weapon to tier 5.3, maybe 5.4. Nope. Okay. Well, tier 5.3 it is. Okay. So this is 305,000. This is 324. There's a power difference of 1122 and 1142. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't know. What about this one? 1162. That's not worth 50,000, I don't think, because we also want to upgrade our offhand and our chest armor. So let's just buy the cheapest one. That's a great curse. Don't buy the great one. Oh, I almost messed up. Only buy the regular cursed, which is it's gonna cost us quite a bit. This is a huge power spike. And we can always sell this when we've grown to tier 6. It's fine. Go ahead and upgrade that weapon because you're gonna feel the power. I can't equip it. Oh, I'm not. Am I not? Am I not level? I'm so close to level 10. I'm gonna go get level 10. Okay. But also here, let's do a little bit of grinding. Okay. Let me also mention, because of all the skinning we've done and all the grinding we've done, we can now faction flag as Bridgewatch. So we're going to go up here to this little icon that says Faction Enlistment and talk to the NPC who is completely covered by players. And click Enlist. And then we're going to click Flag. And we're going to get a little orange icon next to our name. We are now Faction Flagged for Bridgewatch. This means that we can now fight other players who are not in Bridgewatch, but also it means that we don't have to fight anyone PvP standard flagged. Also, as we grinded, we unlocked our Reaver level, which is this right here. Remember, we have let's see, that's, what is it, tier 3 Reaver, tier 4 Reaver, tier 5 Reaver unlocked. We're working on our tier 6 Reaver. Tier 6 and up is all red zone and black zone, so you don't need it. You don't need, who cares? Okay, but we have the tier 5 unlocked, so we can now go into yellow zones. Let me explain how a yellow zone works. If you are not faction flagged, and you see an enemy player who is PvP flagged, they can attack you, but they cannot kill you. They can knock you down to 1 HP. It will take 5% of your durability on all of your items. And then you wait 3 minutes until you can stand back up again and then run away. You'll have a little immunity shield so they can't just camp you all day. But because we're faction flagged, it doesn't matter if they're PvP flagged. They can't hurt us at all. The only people that can hurt us are people who are also faction flagged for the opposite factions. Which, because we're in Bridgewatch, you will usually see you'll see Martlock players with a blue tag, and Limhurst players with a green tag. Okay? And their names will be red on your screen. So if you see a red name, you could fight them, you can run away. Luckily for us, your build is exactly built for fighting and running. And most people in faction fights don't have a counter for curse staff. So you're doing pretty good. And what you're going to do now is you're going to farm tier 5 mobs. Exactly the way that you've been doing in tier 4, but these guys give way more fame. Look at this. 2,910. He was not enchanted, okay? So obviously the enchanted tier 4 mobs will give more, but you can just sit here and farm tier 5 mobs now, and you're going to do that until your curse staff is level 10. Do not use learning points on it. We're saving that for skinning. There it is. We did it. I just had to kill 2 mobs, man. I should have did that before recording. But now that wait, is that just learning point? I think that just could be learning. Hold on, let me check. We're gonna go and look at our board. We're almost level 10. Not quite there yet. Okay, we can see it maybe on the, yeah. That's specialist. We just need our warlock level to be level 10. So we got to do some more grinding, okay? It'll pop up. It'll tell us, you know, we've reached a new breaking point, and there we go. But yeah, just start killing tier 5 mobs, and you're also now earning faction points, okay? So what faction points are, they allow you to buy things, and you could sell them or use them, okay? At 3,000 faction points, you can go to that vendor where we enlisted and buy a Bridgewatch Heart, which will sell for 40,000 silver, or for 9,000 points, you can buy a chest that will give you fame tomes worth at least 200 to 300,000, and items worth anywhere from 20 to 100,000. So it's always worth it to save 9,000 points and buy the chest, because that will super duper level you up massively quick. It is one of the faster ways to level up, is to just acquire points. Also, these are wisps. If you go into them, you lose your faction flag, and the mobs inside and the stuff in there are nerfed compared to the open world. So for efficiency purposes, you should not go into them. You can if you just want to have some fun. The way the wisps work are, they are zones designed for solo players, because you can only go in by yourself until you hit black zones, and then you can find some duo ones, but those are separated anyway. So it's meant for solo players to interact with other solo players, but because you're low spec, you won't be able to do anything, because all the max geared players go in there just to bully in PvP, so you have no real business being in there. Also, you might have seen these little dungeons about. These are corrupted dungeons. We're going to get more into details about corrupted dungeons later, but first we need more power. So here we go. The cool thing about tier 5 zones are you can do these bigger, juicier pulls, and with the Caerleon cape, it's pretty easy, though I didn't have mine up, but we can just blow our cooldowns, and there we go. So you're going to be getting a lot of fame just farming these guys. Just ride around in the open world. You could also try a tier 5 solo dungeon. You won't get nearly as much combat fame, and you won't, the loot kind of sucks, even if you're max geared. That used to be the meta, but they nerfed it, okay? If you watch my old guides, that's what I told everyone to do, was go do solo dungeons, you know? And no, you can't do that anymore. It's just not worth doing. So we're going to continue to farm the open world, and I'll get back with you. Also, if you ever see these are the Roads of Avalon. This is a black zone. You can get killed and lose all of your gear here, so never, ever, ever go into those until you're ready and willing to die and lose everything you're carrying. Because for new players, these are traps. There are entire gank squads just waiting to murder you if you go into those. So what you see here is a flagged player. Now I want to help you. He's running towards me. Also, I'm on an ox. He won't be able to do much, but he's trying to kill me. That's what he's doing, and he can't because I'm on the ox. He will never dismount me off this ox as a solo, unless he's a very specific dismounting build. But what you need to realize is that when you see a red nameplate, look for this yellow bar under their name. If there is a yellow bar, they are on their mount. And if you dismount near somebody who has that, who is hostile, you cannot do any combat actions for 5 seconds. So, if you see a red name approach you without that yellow bar, that means they're coming for you, and you should mount up and leave. Right? So, I'll try to demonstrate. I'll dismount near him, and I could probably kill I'm gonna be real. I could probably just straight up kill this dude. Because my build is that powerful, right? He would have a good fighting chance, but otherwise, like, if I dismount, see, I get a 5-second cooldown on my abilities, so I'm not able to attack immediately. Just letting you know, just to be safe out there. And like I said, now, in faction warfare, if you get killed by the enemy faction, you do not lose your stuff. And you don't have to wait 3 minutes to get back up either. You simply respawn at the nearest little outpost, which, if that guy killed me, I would respawn literally right over here, in the safety of a Bridgewatch little stronghold. And look, there's a repair bench right here. I could just repair after he beats me up. It's not a big deal. It's super convenient to be faction flag, guys. So always be a faction flag. It's totally worth the rewards. If you see one of these, this is called a Hellgate. It's for 2v2. It's kind of like a PvP thing. You need a partner to do these. You can't really enter them solo anymore. Enchanted mobs in tier 5s will be yellow. They'll have a yellow glow. So make sure to fight them, you know, the best you can. And just abuse your mount. We got 3 stacks on them. There's a curse explosion. You know, jump off. Give them another curse. Also, I want to mention another tip. The reason we use the cleric robe is if you activate it and you get that shield, you can remount even while being attacked. Because you're not technically taking damage, this allows you to be uninterruptible while remounting against mobs. So it's super handy. Also, that's almost 7,000 fame, 1.3k silver. They can drop pretty good items too. So far, all I've got is some tier 3 boots, a couple of these tomes. I haven't been killing too many though. I really didn't go far out enough. I'm kind of close to town, so a lot of the mobs are being farmed. But it's still really easy to fight them. Let's see, I can go ahead and aggro these two as well. And, you know, just use my mount, dance out of their attacks. It's really, really simple. We have healing boots. And once we upgrade our armor and weapon, these things will die so incredibly fast. And there you go. And we're getting about 500 to 600 silver per kill on the big guys. You know, 80 to 160 silver on the small ones, I believe, if I'm correct. I'm not sure exactly, but these die so fast. And these birds are tier 5 birds. They're very inefficient for skinning. That's why we don't touch them. It's so much more efficient to skin in tier 4 zones. I have so many videos on that subject, so don't let anyone dissuade you. It's it's so much more efficient to farm in blue zones. Okay, and you know, at this point, I have long since been able to equip tier 5, but I'm still, look at this, I'm already level 14. Like, I could push this to level 30 and just skip to tier 6, which I just might do because that will open up the ability to run corrupted dungeons hyper efficiently. And also, you should always run corrupted dungeons when it's corrupted dungeon day, which, for the sake of this video, it is, because you get a fame and a loot boost, which makes it an insanely high amount of silver per hour. I'm talking over 1 million silver per hour if you have premium active, and it's a bonus day for corrupted dungeons. I can't show you what that is right now because for some reason my client is bugged and my buttons are grayed out. I guess it's like a newbie thing. They don't want you checking the buttons or something. I'm not sure. It's weird. Some kind of bug. I don't know. But if I go to town, the bug goes away. Anyway, I'm going to keep farming for a while, and then we're going to upgrade our gear. Now, like I said earlier, this guy does have a red name, but he is not faction flagged, so him and I cannot fight. I can dismount, and he can dismount, and there's nothing we can do to each other because I belong to a faction and he does not. This does not apply in a red zone, however, but we're not covering red zones in this video, except for maybe the corrupted dungeon part coming up. Okay, so I have fame farmed open world mobs for 1 hour exactly. It's time to go back and show you the results, assuming this cougar doesn't aggro me. Oh no. Okay, try number 2 to teleport back to town. Remember, this costs us 864 silver, which is nothing. Nothing at all. It's pennies. Okay, so in the 1 hour, we managed to gain several levels, and I'm still using just the 4.1 starter gear that we have. And so we have about 95,000 silver in items, and we farmed. Oh, I forgot to buy back my gold. I actually have more money than I realized. And we farmed 100,000 in raw silver off of mob drops. Let me get that go. Shoot, I thought I was. Let's see. Sell gold for silver. Yeah, 30,000. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. There we go. So we now have, let's sell these items real quick, and then we will have around 739,000, which we could upgrade gear, or we could continue mob grinding until we're level 30, and just go straight to tier 6, because tier 6.3, it's a little more expensive, okay? It's not too much more expensive, okay? It's literally just one more power level up. It's about 300,000 more. But it depends on how you want to upgrade it, but I'm going to give you an alternative too. The next thing I'm going to talk about is corrupted dungeons. Corrupted dungeons are decent. They're decent. So we're up to 723,000. We've almost breached 1 million silver on our very first day. We have 10 laborers that we will have forever. We have a guild hall. We could build more guild halls with this money. We could upgrade our gear. We could upgrade our crypt candle to make our skinning life easier. There's so many things we could do. And let me see, did any of our stuff sell? Let's see. Oh no, that's just buy orders. Anyway, okay, so what about faction points? So far we've earned 2,570 faction points. you want to save 9,000 and buy these iron campaign chests, okay? Because the reason why is you can get 200,000 to 300,000 in fame tomes, but also anywhere from 20 to 100,000 in value. Otherwise, you buy these beast hearts, and they're worth 43,000 each, and you know, we could almost buy one from just 1 hour of farming. This gets much faster, by the way. The more you do it, the more points you'll earn as you do it and rank up. So yeah, there you go. Basically, we earned a little under 200,000-ish in 1 hour mob farming, but that is the faster way to mob farm. So now let's talk about corrupted dungeons. So if you go up here to this little button that says activities, and you go to activities here in the drop down menu, you'll see that our daily event is corrupted dungeoneering, which gives us 15% additional fame and 10% additional loot in all corrupted dungeons. So what is a corrupted dungeon? Why would you want to do a corrupted dungeon? A corrupted dungeon are those little yellow portals that we see around the world, and it is technically a PvP 1v1 dungeon. If you enter them from a yellow zone, which is what we are in right now, you can tell at the bottom right, the color yellow in the box, we will enter the hunter-style corrupted dungeon, which means if we lose the fight against another player, we do not lose our gear. And hunter corrupted dungeons, they aren't the best for fame, they're not the best for treasure or gold, or I'm sorry, silver per hour, but they're a fun break, okay? I just farmed 1 hour of open world mobs for a video of a character I'm never going to play after this video releases, because I have 20 characters that I've built up. I don't need 21. Anyway, so let's go find us a corrupted dungeon. I'll show you what they are. Now, before you set off to do a corrupted dungeon, buy yourself a cabbage soup. They're a little pricey, but they give you an amazing amount of healing per second when outside of combat, which will make it so much smoother to clear these dungeons. I also found a knight helmet on my way back to town. So here is the corrupted dungeon. To enter it, you'll need a certain amount of item power. We have 872 item power out of 800, so we can enter hunter difficulty. Stalker must be entered from a red or black zone, and you'll need 900 item power. But as you level up, you will have over 900 item power with the exact same gear that we have, and eventually you will be able to do it without even wearing a cape, because Stalker difficulty is the full loot version. If you die in Stalker, you drop everything in your inventory and what you're wearing. When you enter the corrupted dungeon, this little talisman here, if you decide to use it, will enable you to invade other players and also increase the chance that you are invaded. For the sake of this video and learning, I'm not going to do that because we're all about just killing bosses and getting treasure. When you open your map, you'll see these little solo dots are the bosses that have treasure. So you want to prioritize going here. This empty space is where the final boss will spawn once you kill enough enemies. Also, this little configuration with like the cross, the upside down cross, whatever it is, sometimes these have treasures. So there's a treasure here, a treasure over here, a treasure here, and the boss here. So what I want to do is I want to loop around, kill him, loop this way, go up here, and that's not good. Okay. I swear I didn't use that. But we're just going to clear the mobs as normal, and the screen will turn a bright, angry, hellish red if we are invaded. We won't be invading anyone else because we did not opt in for it. But you can see here that the mobs, they're kind of tough. And the way these corrupted dungeons work is it limits your item power. So I can't just come in here with an insanely high level gear in hunter difficulty and just walk all over the mobs. There's also traps and other things, like this little bat. If I shoot it, it'll explode and launch me in a different direction. So all you have to do is clear the mobs and then fight the bosses. Now, I will say that the bosses are a little more difficult than what you're used to, but once you fight enough of them, they're very easy. Like, once you get used to it, you can just kind of be completely brain dead and clear this. So you'll notice that my health is a little low. I'm going to eat this cabbage soup, and now my health will very quickly regenerate outside of combat. This is why we want the cabbage soup, so that we don't have to stop between pulls. Now, also, every time I kill something, I get these little demon face icons. This is called infamy. Once I reach 100, it will summon the boss, and I can no longer be invaded. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just fight this boss here. Just classic style. Just go ahead and stack up some curses and dodge his attacks. It's that simple, and then we will get this chest whenever we defeat him. And sometimes these chests can be tome chests, so that helps us level up faster. For more experienced players, we don't like tome chests. We want loot. We don't want fame. Because most of us are max level that have been playing this for a while. Alright, so this boss is, he's going down soon. And the faster you clear, the less likely you'll be invaded. Okay, there we go, 4,000 fame. This is a blue chest. And this is worth 5,000 silver in loot. Also, the boss did drop a rune worth almost nothing. So onward we go. Just kill everything along the way. And I can dump my curse explosion on the mob before they awaken. And once we level up the curse staff more, the clear speed becomes really, really fast. Because we'll have a spell called, it's like Cursed Tar. And it is a very powerful spell that consistently hurts the enemies. Whereas this spell, we can only cast it every few seconds, and it slowly stacks up to 4. Whereas Cursed Tar immediately stacks up to 4, and it continues to deal lots and lots of area of effect damage in a puddle. It's basically a burning floor, like, for mobs, though. Not so good against players. Alright, so I'm going to continue to clear the corrupted dungeon, and then I'll show you the final boss. Also, sometimes there's these little chests in corrupted dungeons. Go ahead and smash them. I am being invaded. You see how the screen turned red? I am now being invaded. You can sometimes get items out of that. Now, I won't lose anything, but I need to switch to a PvP spec. So I'm going to use Vile Curse, Desecrate to hold my opponent in place, and we'll try to kill him with that. My opponent is breaking crystals? What? See these little crystals that have appeared? If I don't want to fight my opponent, this guy he's telling the enemy where I'm at, by the way. If I don't want to fight my opponent, I can go break these crystals, and that will banish him from my dungeon. I don't know why he would break crystals if he's invading me, though. Maybe he doesn't really know what he's doing? Anyway, I'm going to smash this crystal, and we could fight him. If we defeat him, we automatically get the boss's loot, and we can continue our dungeon. But what we can do is, you can learn how to PvP by going into this mode. There he is. So what I want to do is I want to maybe hold him down in this trap. Okay, this little Super Mario flame trap. So I'm gonna play around in it because I have a spell that holds him in place. But it doesn't look like he wants to approach me because he's just kind of chilling over there. I don't know what his deal is. I can just break the crystal and be done with it. Or he can come fight me. This game can be very bait and switchy, but right now this is hurting our silver per hour and our fame per hour, and it's making my tutorial video longer. So let's go see if we can, oh, he doesn't want to pass the monster. He doesn't want to aggro the monster. Oh, he's okay, so he is a bow user. We know he's a war bow user, so he shot us. I can now run from him, wait 18 seconds to go out of PvP combat and restore my health. Or I can just run up here and smash the crystal, which is probably what I'm going to do. Just because he's not going to approach me. He doesn't want to get aggro. He knows I'm going to hold him in place if he does. So the only winning move here is to just banish him from... Let's just go ahead and break the crystal, and that will send him back to his own little dungeon, and there we go. He's gone. And at this point, I can kill this mob and switch back to my PvE spells. So this one and this one. There we go. And now we can continue clearing as normal. But yeah, there you go. If you play during off hours and you play in, what is it, Stalker difficulty, you almost never get invaded. Out of 14 hours of running it, I got 3 invades and I died twice. So it's still worth doing, even if you die, because I have entire videos about that subject on my channel. I won't go over with it today, or in this video rather. So go check those out when you're ready to do Stalker Corrupted Dungeons. You just need to level up more, and there's a method to it, right? For now, I'm just talking about Hunter Corrupted Dungeons. I'll see you at the boss. So, once we hit 100 Infamy, the main boss spawns here in the empty spot, and we will go ahead and fight him. So you have to be very careful and learn this guy's patterns. There are 2 different types of bosses. So, again, if you make just a few mistakes, the boss will be able to out-DPS you and take you down. But once we get this build leveled up, it's very easy and very lazy to kill this guy. And I took a hit there, but we're fine. We're okay. We have boots that heal ourselves. We're going to run into his circle. Again, it's an easy fight once you learn it, but if it's your first time ever playing, then it can be a little stressful and a little high stakes at first, but it's okay. If you lose to the monsters here, you just kneel down for a bit and you get back up. But if you're invaded and you get downed by the monster, someone could come and execute you, assuming it's Stalker difficulty. But we're in Hunter. We can't be executed. We don't lose our gear. So there we go. Killed the boss. He didn't drop anything, but we got the chest here. This is a, what is this? It's, what, 8 plus 4, so it's 12,000 in loot. Not that good, but we still have the last chest here to get, so I'm going to run down there. Also, this chest, I didn't record it, but it was a tome chest, so I got 2,000 fame from that, which really sucks. So, the treasure chests at the cross section are just regular mobs. They're not boss monsters, so they're pretty easy to take out. They're just kind of out of the way sometimes. And there we go, green chest, that's 2,000. Once you've killed the main boss, you can just push A and decide, do you want to go back to the surface, or do you want to go to the next dungeon? I still have plenty of time left on my food buff, so I'm going to go to the next dungeon, and we're going to see how much we make. Now, this is a nice chest. This was a purple chest. It's got a 6-1 bag, which, hey, that's an upgrade. We could just put that on after we're done with the dungeon, or we could sell it. It's whatever we want to do. But 76,000 silver in this one chest, and the boss dropped something. Nothing really. And here's the second style boss. This is kind of a mage boss. It's pretty, you gotta have a little bit of patience for this one too. But they're super defeatable. And we'll go ahead and shield that there. And I did start the fight with low mana, which is not good. So this might take a little longer for me to kill, but that's fine. And I'm gonna definitely eat that. Oh my, I barely stepped out just in time. He's already at half HP. And the great thing about Curse Staff is you can curse them so you're dealing damage as you're moving. It's just so easy. Like, he's at 4 stacks of Curse. And, you know, these fights can be a little fun, or they can be annoying. It's however you look at it. Go ahead and give him the old Death Curse. Let's see, reapply, that way we keep the 4 stacks, and he's toast. We've barely taken any damage from him, and we can just whittle him down from here. Just dodge his spells, he's beaming us again, we got our own beam, and down he goes. What do we get for it? Let's see, we got 14,000 in this one, there's more loot too. Now, let's see, I still have that one chest down here to get until we go to the next dungeon. Now, I forgot to mention, when you're doing a corrupted dungeon, you are no longer faction flagged. So you don't earn faction points for this. That's one of the downsides. But the money earned can be pretty good in Stalker corrupted dungeons, not so much Hunter. Hunter is like a kind of a practice mode. This one's not bad. This is 26,000. I also had a 44,000 chest that I opened earlier as well. So far, we're up to 184,000, and I still have 5 minutes left on my food buff. However, I'm having to use the courier on my boots to be able to carry it all, so I'm just going to call it here. So we have 184,000 in loot, but we also have 36,000 in silver bags, so that's 224-ish thousand. So let's compare all 3 activities so far. All right, I'm going to go ahead and surface. So we have skinning, which is going to make us the most money, right? However, we don't earn combat fame. We don't strengthen our character. We don't make our weapon beefier and juicier for PvP and other activities. Then we have open world mob farming, which we don't really make too much silver doing it, but it is the quickest way to gain power for our weapons and armor. Then we have corrupted dungeons, which is a nice mixture of both. It's kind of like an in-between, a half and half, but I will say that once you unlock Stalker corrupted dungeons, which there is risk involved, where you will be killed and you will lose your stuff, it is a very good in-between better option, because you can earn more money, more silver, more loot per hour, and you can earn a decent amount of fame per hour, but it's still outclassed by open world mob farming for pure fame, and the fact that you don't earn the faction points means it really does hurt. In my opinion, corrupted dungeons should only be done when the activities tab shows the event going on, which is, you know, it lasts for like, what, 2 days, and then it'll cycle around every like 2 weeks or so. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and sell our loot and see where we're at financially. So I want to show this bag upgrade that we found, okay? Our old bag held 20 kilograms, and our new bag, a 6.1 enchanted, holds 157 kilograms, so I decided to keep it. So here is our progress, our very first day. We have 6 hours and 19 minutes of playtime. And if you want, you can technically add 1 hour and 30 minutes to that. So we'll say 8 hours, your first 8 hours in the game. Literally one session, one work day, one school day's worth of playing. Very first day, we'll say 8 hours, okay? Where are we at financially? Where are we at power-wise? Well, financially, we have 901,000 silver. Well, 900,000 silver. Our equipment that we're wearing is worth 222,000 silver, which you could always sell if you get bored of it or don't want it. In our bank, we actually have our own island and our own guild hall on the first day. And inside of our chest is 143,000 worth of stuff. This is 69,000 worth of journals, but we know that we can convert that into 100,000 by using our laborers. Okay, we also have the value of all of these beds, tables, trophies, the value of the guild hall, and the value of the island itself on your first 8 hours of the game. So where do you go from here? Well, it depends on what you like doing. Do you prefer skinning, which is going to make you the most money? Do you want to increase your curse staff power? The sooner you max this out, the sooner you can go on into black zones and just dumpster people. This weapon is one of the strongest scaling weapons in the entire game. In terms of raw damage potential and power, it is counterable, but if they don't have a counter, you automatically win. And if they kill you, well, they still die from the damage over time and the curse explosion. Just killing you doesn't stop the curse. They're going to blow up no matter what. Do you like corrupted dungeons? Then you should prioritize getting this to level 30 so you can unlock the tier 6 version, which allows you to cast both Cursed Tar and Cursed Beam. Once you have those unlocked, you unlock Cursed Beam at level 70, which is not that far away, by the way. It's super easy to level this stuff up. This is the real place where you gotta level. This is called Specialty, which we have level 13 of. This is your actual raw weapon power. And getting this to 100 will take some time the first time you do it, okay? If you want to prioritize farming group dungeons as a solo, you're going to need to max out all of these cursed staves, but you will mainly be using the Shadow Caller. I have plenty of videos where I solo group dungeons. It is the fastest and most fame per hour in the entire game, and you will have to max out all of your cursed staff trees, because here's how it works. For those that don't know, because you're new, when you level up a curse staff, all the other ones gain power from it, okay? So by maxing out all of these, you strengthen the one that you want to use the most, and that's how it works. That's why people max out entire weapon trees, okay? So this is the most reliable way to start a brand new character in Albion Online. You are insanely powerful. If anything, I would spend some of this money upgrading our mount. We have a tier 3 Ox. Why not get a Ghost Boar? Those are really fancy. And not only that, but you have 3 characters that will be accumulating, focus, which you can also use to make profit. Basically, you craft anything with focus, you are almost always turning a profit. You'll have to do the math to see what earns what, though. But also, we have, in our main chest down here, we do have some fame tomes that we could consume if we want to level up faster. If we continue to do more faction flagged content, then we can absolutely get a crazy amount of tomes. So remember, from here is entirely up to you what you want to do. You can build more guild halls by making more characters, so you can have more of these gamekeeper laborers to feed more of these gamekeeper journals for more money. You can continue to level up your skinning, which is what I absolutely recommend that you use your learning points on, and get that thing all the way to tier 8. It will take a lot of time because, like I said, 117 learning points for the tier 5, and then it's 234 for tier 6, and then it's 351 for tier 7, and 409 for tier 8. It's going to take you about a month and a half to level these to tier 8, but once you do, you quadruple your earnings, and it's insane how much silver you make. Because remember, silver is how you get premium, and premium, as of the filming of this video, is 16.121 million silver, okay? Which, technically, we could farm that in 12 to 16 hours once we're maxed out, doing just skinning. So it's up to you. If you just want to be a PvP god, then just continue leveling your curse staff. It's by far one of the higher win rate weapons for Stalker Corrupted Dungeons if you only care about 1v1s. It's an amazing gank weapon. It is the best budget weapon in the entire game. It also sets you up, like I said, for group dungeons if you just want to fame farm and be a PvE player that can solo group dungeons. That's right. You don't need a party. You don't need a healer. You don't need a tank. You are all of them when you max out your Shadow Caller and the other cursed staffs. It's just so great and so good, guys. That's all I have for you today. So with that said, thanks for watching. I know this was a long one, but this is the absolute best, most possible, most stable start for making a character in Albion Online in 2023. That's right. There is no faster, no better, no more efficient way to get money and to get fame than this, while doing it completely safe with zero risk of losing your gear, your money, or your loot. I'm Soul Benji. I make videos every single day on this channel. Please subscribe. It really helps out. Make sure you like the video. I also read every single comment, believe it or not. I do read every comment. I may not reply to them, but feel free to ask any questions on this specific video in this specific video's comment section, and we'll help each other out. I'll answer your questions. Other players might chime in as well that also play Albion Online. I have a very loyal fan base that knows the game in and out, who would be more than happy to help you out. Wouldn't you, lads? Make sure that you're helping the... Guys, I know you watch this for fun, so help out the new players when they have questions, okay? Also, if you want to help me out, there is 2 ways to do that. You can click the thanks button down below and leave a monetary donation. This donation will show up in the comment section with how much you donated, and if you donate a large amount, it will change the color of your comment box. Also, you can click the join button to become a channel member. It's like subscribing to someone on Twitch, but on YouTube instead. It's much better because this gives you access to private, more personal videos, which some of those are too good for me to show to the public because they are either game exploits, incredible builds, methods of farming. Like, I have an advanced skinning guide that is for members only. It would be unfair for me to share it with you here. I'm sorry, but it's only for members. $5 a month. If at least 2 of you buy memberships, I can eat a rotisserie chicken for a single day. Thank you so much. Also, I have a Discord. If you want to join the Discord to play games with me, this is a private community. Check out the description for the link to that. And finally, also, if you want to see a preview of the members-only videos, go to the pinned comment of this video and check out the link there. With that said, on the right side of your screen is a video that is hand-selected by Google just for you. It will not disappoint you. It knows you better than you know yourself. Go ahead and click that video, but make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Take care, lads. Mwah.